Do check Chuffy. Hi, you're with Scott. It's Christmas. It's always Christmas. Let's post it up. Just a chilling stream for a few hours.
Welcome. You know, I was thinking to myself, shall I do a video? Shall I do a video? Been speaking to people here in New Zealand and they said, don't do a video, don't do a video. And I set this camera up.
Hang on, wait, New Zealand.
My shoulder.
Wait, he is in New Zealand now, because I believe there was a moment where he was supposed to have not been in New Zealand. He was supposed to be in America, wasn't he? Didn't someone say he was in America? And then I was like, no, that's bollocks. He's not in America, he's in New Zealand. And now it's definitely New Zealand. Yeah. I'm trying to get this fucking music in the background. It's annoying me. I can't get the right vibe.
I just noticed there's an album here, look, a box set from EDDY Lockjaw Davis, but I can see only the Lockjaw is actually in focus there. Isn't that amazing? That's an omen that I shouldn't be doing this video, but I thought to myself, you know what, Eddie, maybe you should do a video, because I'm getting so many people commenting, sending me emails, asking me for my comments, and they're sending me stuff, asking my comments about people like Christopher from Nottingham, who's got the blog page. Hello to you, Christopher. Scott, super chuffer, battery exhausted, I should say, there's a couple of T's in there. And even Scott himself said, please do make a video in response to his video. So I'm going to be...
Well, I didn't say please do. What I meant was, don't come to my stream and fucking talk about it in my chat to me forever. Just make a video.
Talking about Scott as well. Scott might actually cut my... I like the way he cuts your face and he puts it alongside him. Are you that side, Scott, or are you... Anyway, hello to you, Scott. Hello to you, Scott. No, you'll be that side, right? Hello to you, Scott. How are you doing today? Thank you for having me here to have my say on some of the stuff that you put out there. I will be talking to you directly, but I'll be talking to the audience as well. So my audience, and indeed I want to say hello not just to my audience, but I want to say hello to the other channel's audience that will be watching this video as well. And hello to Christopher's bloggers.
Like I say, part of me should be... I should be excited because here's a video that I can react to, that I can put on battery exhaustion and people will watch, but it's fucking Christmas, man. Do you know what I mean? It's Christmas. Like, I've got better... This is 3 hours ago he dropped this. I've literally got a million better things to be doing with my time than this. The YouTubers have got me watching it. I'm going to whiz through a bit of it because you have got me watching it, but it's already got me feeling worse than when I started the stream. Can I slow him down? No, not really, because if I slow him down, I'm not going to get to watch it because I haven't got... Like, it's an hour long.
A lot of you, I know, have been biffed off of other channels, and
I'll slow it down to 1.25, and I'll try not to pause it.
Christopher, a lot of people have said to me, Christopher sounds like really young, like, you know, in his 20s and whatever. Christopher is in his early 50s. So,
Chris is Substack.
You know, he's not a child anymore, and I will talk about his blog and some of his theories, and you can make your own mind up.
Have you read Chris's Substack? I have. Chris is convinced it's a psyop. I don't know if it's the same Chris who approached me on Twitter after my video, but someone approached me on Twitter after my video and was like, you didn't watch all this research, you haven't done this. And so I was like, yes, I have. And then I just literally, with my phone, took screenshots of my watch history, not screenshots, but like took the phone and photographed my watch history on YouTube to prove what I'd been watching over the last few days to some randomer who thought it was a psyop and that I was a shill.
Because, you know, that's the beauty of my channel. I'm not going to diss any of you. You can have your own theories. You can have your own opinions. Speculate all you want. Hypothesize all you want. There's a word we've grown to all hate in the last...
I suppose we're in the same boat here, aren't we? Because, you know, someone thought I was a shill and I was like, well, that makes me feel bad because I'm not. And like with Eddie, I'm basically saying similar stuff. I'm like basically saying a sort of same thing, aren't I? Just like... I suppose. Like, I don't want to leave like too much room open for, oh, I might be wrong though. Like, trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowances if you're doubting too. But like, I don't really need to, because like it doesn't matter. Like, you know, I've kind of got my feelings, and do I need to have them proved wrong, or do I need to have them proved right? Neither of which are going to ever happen. So
yeah. So where do I start? Well, I want to start by saying, first of all, because a lot of you are going to get this on Christmas Eve, I want to say a very, very Merry Christmas to you all, and a Happy New Year. Let's hope 2024 brings us what we all want. The reason that their channel is here and the reason that their channel is growing. Now, I'm going to be jumping all over the place because I'm going to wing this today. I don't have a script. I've not typed out some long channels that have often said that Eddie is a narcissist, and a narcissist will put out a video like he did about Vicky Marie.
I've never said Eddie's a narcissist, yeah, not me, so he's not going at me there.
And then a narcissist will apologise after he's put out his video like he did, the kind of passionate, the one that I spoke from the heart and got quite passionate about.
I think that's Vicky Marie said that, and I don't know if she's talking just about narcissists, but abusive people as well.
The reason I apologised for that video was because it isn't who I am, and
can you hear him all right?
I wanted to express how sorry I was about the passion I showed. Am I sorry about the things that I said?
It's nice to use the word passion when we mean anger, isn't it?
I'm not sorry about the things I said. I'm sorry about the way that I said them. And I'll explain a little bit about that as this video goes through. So I hope you're going to stay with me because I've got some interesting points for you today. I'm going to be talking about Scott. Yes, I'm going to be speaking about Vicky Marie again and channels like Vicky Marie's. I also want to speak about Truth Finders. I keep saying Truth Justice, and they've pulled my leg about that a few times. So I want to say hello to Truth Finders as well, Michelle, Joe, and Jet.
In chat there, you'll say some, like, you know, negative things about Eddie, but I don't feel like angry or negative or like, you know, like what a dickhead or anything about him. I just feel like ambivalent, I suppose. I kind of, my gut instinct after all of the things I saw and looked through is that in some way he was involved in some of the process somewhere, and like Ernie has moved away, started a new life. But in New Zealand there's a lot of animal agriculture, so you know, you can take your skills and transplant them somewhere else. What you see is not quite what you get, I think, with Eddie. Or like what you, I don't want to be mean, but like, you know, I can see quite clearly that he's lost his head, but he's got hair here, like, that doesn't match the hair on the sides, and maybe he's had some work done around the eyes. I mean, this is trying to be nice as well, is that some people say he looks really young for his age, and I'm confused about how old he is and how young he looks, some people. But like, I'm not angry or like whatever. I just feel like he has that history that I'm not aware of, and in some ways played games here. So it's just a thing. Like, it's just a thing. In the same way as if I were to watch, I'm trying to think of another equivalent, like, you know, thing that's happened in the last couple of weeks that, like, is just a thing that, like, I was at the pub yesterday and my friend said he got a new BMW and it's a different kind of car and he's having to do some work on the engine and stuff, and I was like, okay, yeah, you know, it's just a thing. So it doesn't hurt me or help me or do anything. It's just a thing.
And say hello to you guys. It's been wonderful, our communication. I've really enjoyed just sometimes sitting on the phone and chewing the fat with you guys. It's you know, you're real people, and it's really nice to know that there are people out there that I can have a personal one-to-one with.
And that's something else as well. I was offered the phone call. I don't want to do a phone call. Like, none of the people that I'm communicating with to have as guests on the show, I wanted to do phone calls. I don't do a lot of phone calls with even my actual friends who I spend time talking with in the real world. So that's just me, I guess. But Eddie seems to like the phone calls. But again, not a negative or anything, just different.
Shall we start with the major one? I think let's start with Scott, because he'll want to cut and do this whole thing. What side, Scott? Hello to you. What side are you going to put me? You want me to, you know?
Do you want me to flip you?
Please don't blow that smoke in my face. Please, I can't stand it. No, all jokes.
He's giving me stuff to work with there, but I can't be arsed.
Side. I know that when Scott sees this video, I'm sure that he may decide to, well, let's analyse everything Eddie's saying and the way that he's saying it. And yes, you're absolutely right, Scott. I mean, I did get a bit passionate with Vicky Marie, but there was a good reason for me doing that.
Again, a little bit unfair because I haven't. Although I did watch one of the videos of Eddie on our stream on Twitch, I haven't cut and uploaded and done, like, you know, Eddie body language videos, have I?
Time. Now let's talk first of all then about Scott's video. I 100% stand by Scott Jessup. 100%.
That's good.
I know that there's going to be a few people going, oh, what? I stand by him on...
Well, I mean, I say good. I mean, it's indifferent again, isn't it? I'm ambivalent to, like, whether Eddie stands by me or not. It's just, again, just a thing, isn't it? Like, some people, like Eddie stood by Luke quite strongly as well, didn't he? And he stood by some other people. So, like, you know, I can't affect where he stands, and I don't mind where he stands.
The animal cruelty side of where he's coming from, 100%. No one in their right mind would promote animal cruelty whatsoever. Absolutely agree with you, Scott. I couldn't agree more. Where I disagree with Scott is the way that he has combined the animal protesters, the animal cruelty, and all of that in the mid-90s, and he has singled out Ernie Bulley as the reason that his daughter is dead. That part I don't agree with.
Well, singled out Ernie, when we're looking for attribution of blame, what I was saying was that we're looking to see if maybe, between Paul and Nikki, or Nikki and Emma, or someone at the woods on the random just come out the bushes, or maybe it's someone at the caravan park like you said and Penny just pushed her in on the random. But I'm saying it's not that. It goes deeper and it goes further back, and they've got these proper dodgy links and this, we talked about it, did the video, and I think that's the reason that she's come to death by misadventure or whatever. No, it wasn't, was it? It was. Anyway, that's the reason why she's died, is through all that business. So, I wasn't saying Ernie killed her, or it's Ernie's fault, but I'm saying it's Ernie and it's Peter and it's this past and it's this group and it's that sort of stuff. So yeah, you don't agree.
Now you might say, well, you're going to say that because you used to drive a truck for Ernie, as Scott said. See, this is the danger, Scott.
Yo, I never said he used to drive a truck for Ernie. Yo, did he drive a truck for Ernie?
Say that because you used to drive a truck for Ernie.
When did that come? Where did that come? Am I tripping here? Are you seeing this in chat? Did he just say that, or did I just where did that come from?
Now you might say, well, you're going to say that because you used to drive a truck for Ernie, as Scott said.
I didn't say that. I fucking never said that.
See, this is the danger, Scott. What happens is that you've got a channel and you've got a lot of people that you've influenced. And now, like my video way back in February was picked up by Brian Harvey from BHTV, and then I managed to pick up 3,000 subscribers of BHTV.
Right.
So I had his subscribers.
Numbers now we're talking about, subscribers and numbers. There's just people who watch YouTube. I don't know if I noticed a big bump in subscribers when I dropped the video, but that's because I dropped the video and loads of people watched it. I'm happy that Brian watched it. I'm really grateful. Shouts out Brian if he's ever watching. I think he's great. But there have probably been an influx of 10 or 20, 50, 100, some people to my channel that have come over and made a comment. Hundreds have not made a comment that I'm here for, 20, 10 have made, 5 have made a comment I'm here from BHTV, but in the long scheme of things, my success on YouTube or whatever is not going to be determined by how many subscribers I can glean off Brian. It's just really nice, and I'm really grateful that Brian watched my video and promoted it.
Subscribing on my channel. So what's happened is that Scott's video has been picked up by BHTV, but what he's got to understand about Brian Harvey's not had a good time with the police. So anybody that's going to talk bad of the police or the way that they deal with protesters or anything like that.
Did I speak bad of the police in my episode? In fact, it was the opposite in a way. I was saying that the Lancashire police have had a really difficult job and that everyone's been blaming the Lancashire police. But in actual fact, they might have been doing a really good job behind the scenes. And the reason they couldn't do such a good job is because people who are involved in drug gangs or whatever, or other stuff, or whatever, gin gangs, we'll say gin gangs, people who are engaged in gin gangs, they're not going to tell the police everything that they want to, they're not going to be open and honest with them, so the police can't do their job properly. So that's what I said. I didn't say that the police have been doing, obviously back with the protesters, the protester movement and the way that the protesters were dealt with, we're also looking at Peter Folding and his private company that deal with the protesters, and obviously the police as well. But I didn't make an episode about how bad the police were to be dismantling the protests. If anything, the police shouldn't have to do that because the people doing the bad things shouldn't be doing the bad things driving the trucks.
They're going to say this is a video for me because there's another channel that agrees with me. Now, Brian is a great guy.
Yeah, but Brian's not like some sort of 90s animal protester. In fact, all that stuff that I brought in, he was like, wow, I hadn't thought of this, I hadn't seen this before. Like, you know, it's worth looking into. So...
also a damaged guy, and he may have every right to be damaged.
Yeah, but we're not going to write him off because he's fucking damaged, are we? Damaged goods. Are we engaging in character assassination of Brian Harvey here now? No, I'm well aware of Brian's struggles. Fuck me. So in this video so far, what we've said is stuff that I haven't said. We're straw manning me, and now we're sort of poisoning the well between me and Brian, and character assassinating Brian.
You could see in his confusion, Scott, when even he was saying, oh, so this is interesting. In 1995, Peter Fording knew Ernie Bulley, when clearly they didn't know each other. And even you said yourself, no, Brian, you've misunderstood what I was saying. But that was because of the way you made the video. You made, you know, a police officer that looks like Peter Fording walking in one direction.
Again, I don't remember saying, no, Brian, you've misunderstood what I'm saying. I think whether they knew each other or not, I didn't state, but the connection between them and whatever went on, because it wasn't just one protest, it was months of it, and the roles and the positions that they took on then carried on later on in their lives, didn't they? Peter made a full career out of his protester removal and was present at many other sites. So, a bit weird, but yeah.
And then you had a guy that didn't even resemble Ernie Bulley, but let's say...
absolutely looks like fucking dead spitting image of Ernie Bulley driving a truck in a location that Ernie Bulley used to work driving trucks in the same time that Ernie Bulley was a director of a company driving the trucks. You coming in? You can come in if you want. Again, video evidence, you know, it's up to other people. Again, okay, people are going to believe different things, I suppose.
It is Ernie Bulley driving a truck in the other direction. It almost looked like they were coming together, and it confused the hell out of even Brian Harvey. I'm not sure, Scott, having a channel full of, and I'm not for 1 minute saying your channel is full of negative people, but you've picked up subscribers from BHTV.
Oh, no.
So what they do is...
So what we're saying now is that in some way, like, because whatever subscribers I picked up from BHTV, my video dropped, it was out there for 2 days. It picked up like 40,000 views, and then Brian watched it on his channel and it continued to get views the next couple of days. So I would say Brian did help and did share it. He got like 8 to 10,000 views on his video, which shared it to therefore 8 to 10,000 people, of which maybe 10 or 20% will choose to share it or watch it or whatever. Like, it's not that my channel is now super inflated by Brian's people and that I'm suddenly getting voices in my ear from them. I haven't even dropped another video or live stream there since that video. So Eddie's confusing the issue here and making it sound strange.
They come over to your channel and they've got the Brian Harvey mentality about the police.
All right, so literally, look, if you go to the video, all right, if you go to the video and you look at the comments here, right, of which my screen face is in the way. Oh, it's Eddie's made another vid. The earlobe is different. Well, the earlobe will grow, so we can deal with that. I'm just looking for the Brian Harvey comments, basically. So there's a lot of people here with comments. New subscriber. They didn't mention BHTV. I'm not dissing Brian here. I'm saying, like, you know, thanks very much, Brian. It's great. I'm saying Eddie's wrong, though, because a lot of these comments are from regular subscribers and people I recognise. There's another new subscriber, Brian Harvey. So, yeah, there's one from Brian. I'm saying it does work. I'm saying it absolutely is correct. He's right. Brian's fans will come here and watch my content. Yes. But you see how many comments there were and how many of them are specifying they've come from Brian. So it's not that I'm being swamped with Brian's people and they're distorting things now. It's like there's a few extra people, and it's not just them, a few of these other people as well, and new people, because like the video did quite well and it reached a lot of people. People shared it on TikTok and other places as well. So yeah, I'm glad we cleared that up anyway.
Now your mentality may be different from Brian Harvey's, but now you've got his group that have come over to you. And the danger of that is
well,
that
thankfully, I don't get into all that bollocks, and I'm not interested in drama and he said, she said, and what groups think and all this. Like, I sort of sit independently above that, and I'm not a true crimer, and I'm not a truther, and I'm not a flat earther or a fucking, like, you know, whatever. I mean, I'm a vegan, I'm a human, and I've got a YouTube channel, but I'm not in cliques and groups and not going to have to worry about this sort of stuff. So whatever's going to come now, I don't really have to worry about, but yeah.
your channel will grow with these people that they're confused. You know, I mean, they're going to be confused when they watch a lot of your, if they do sit and watch a lot of your stuff about Alan Vinnicum and all the rest of it.
Well, they won't, because they're coming to Super Chuffer. So first of all, they'll look at the Super Chuffer videos, and all the Super Chuffer videos are not about that. They're about body language, people in the media, and to a certain extent, you know, true crime, insofar as I've done Madeleine McCann, John Bennett Ramsey, and we've got the Thus podcast. And once they've got through that, they might find battery exhausted somehow. They might. And if they do, then it's quite clear what's going on there, because it's a variety of different people off the internet who are idiots, and me sat here doing this. So it's not really that deep, and it's not that hard to understand.
And hey, I'm not questioning your dark humour. I'm really not. You do what you've got to do. If that's what floats your boat, right? I mean, you do that. I made my point about AD a long time ago, and then that was it. I left him alone. He's not even on YouTube anymore. I don't care about it.
Yeah, obviously he's not on YouTube anymore, though, is he? Because I fucking made videos about him, exposing him. He decided to take it on as some sort of war. His response was homophobic, and he basically made himself open to being deleted off YouTube by casting out homophobic and disability slurs and all sorts. So, you know, like, well done, Eddie, for not doing fuck all. I took it a different route, and here we are.
Your channel has been growing because you make people laugh. You know, you're very likable. You're a likable character.
Not to everyone, it seems.
Out to you and said, give me a call. It wasn't because I wanted you to give me a call.
And listen, like, nobody has to like everyone, and everyone doesn't have to like everyone. And you seem very, like, nice in your videos as well, but, like, everyone seems nice in their videos, because if you seem like a dick in your videos, you might want to review that in the edit and delete it. Like, mind you, I'm a patronising and condescending, like, art twat myself in some of my earlier videos as well. So, you know, we can all just learn to chill out. Eddie looks quite cross.
Please give me a call. I need to speak to you. It was because you reached out to me and said, let's get Eddie on a live stream. But I wanted to get to know you. I wanted 5 or 6 calls. I wanted
no, I didn't want to do any of that. I just wanted to get you on a live stream. So, like, do you see where the difference is? Like, fucking hell. Even my mods, or, like, I don't want to exactly what I'm saying there is the reason why I've reduced the mods numbers, because I don't want to have it as like this, like, special grouping stuff. Like, even my actual friends in real life who I fucking see and have bought a Christmas present for and stuff like that, like, you know, I don't call them like 6 times and fucking, like, we just see each other, and, like, I'm a bit of a hermit on some aspects. I'm a bit antisocial on other aspects. I'm sorry, but I don't care. Like, I didn't want to do that. I just wanted you to come on a live stream and talk Nicola Bulley for a bit.
An interaction with you, so that we got to know each other and our boundaries and things that we can and things that we can't talk about.
Right, we could have done that with.
You didn't want to do that.
No, we could have done that. What we do with the interview is we would do like a half-hour chat beforehand, like, where we'd see that the camera works, we'd see that you're all working. Okay, this is all working, right? So tomorrow at the same time, we'll meet again and we'll do the live stream. Is there anything you don't want to talk about? Is there anything you want to say? You know, and then we've done it as like a sort of pre-interview. I didn't need to have 6 phone calls, and I never will. So. And
that's fine. You know,
it doesn't matter now, because we're not doing it.
On your own. I mean, you've got this blogger, Christopher, that I mentioned in your chat rooms, who you said you didn't know of. But
in my chat rooms. I don't have chat rooms. I've got a Discord. If he wants to go on the Discord, he's quite welcome on the Discord. Everyone's welcome with their ideas and feelings. Just, what do you want me to do about that? It's the internet.
With on Twitter or something like that.
Twitter. So somebody that's on Twitter that you don't like, that in, like, on Twitter, when we talk Nicola Bulley, right? Nicola Bulley. I can't believe we're doing this on the day before Christmas Eve, but, like, on Christmas. Oh, anyway, look, Nicola Bulley. latest, yeah. And there'll be people here that are tweeting about Nicola Bulley. Now, I'm not shouting them out or not shouting them out, but I'm going to shout some of them out. Mickey, I think, is brilliant. Mickey tweets regularly. Tamara. I can never say, in my brain it says Tamara, but there it says Tamar. Anyway, they tweet, I'm happy. Truth Signal, happy. Just gonna scroll, there's Naya. I'm happy with Naya's tweets. I look at them, sometimes retweet them, sometimes engage with them. Yeah. I'm looking for Chris, basically. There's Gritty Astro, someone I recognise tweeting about it. Danbers Justice, again, recognise it. Nick there. Not agreeing with everything Nick's been doing recently, but, you know, he's had his own little squabbles with some of the people on Twitter, and I do not engage with them because I just read the tweets, and if I like them, I retweet them and comment. If I don't, I don't. Let's skim over this lady who desperately wants to be on the telly. There's Trisha. Look, there's Trisha. Where is Chris and his fucking tweets? Because you don't. This is the person that. There's Chris. There's Chris. Look, Chris's Substack. That must be Chris's Substack, right? So recently, Chris has been engaging with my tweets a little bit more since I dropped that Nicola Bulley video. But I have not been a massive, like, me and Chris are not like big friends or anything. I've read his blog and I like it because he gets to some really interesting points. But along the way, he goes all the way through them into it's all a psyop. So I'm not completely on his side there. Chris's Substack, see how he's just another person on Twitter that tweets and is being tweeted and tweeting and all that. So if I just quickly go to me and I go to my replies, for example, on Twitter, yeah, these are the people that I've been tweeting in reply to or reposting. So we're going to keep going here. There's Jizzy. I just put reading the news because I'm a chuffer. Are we going to see Chris's Substack? Are we going to see Chris? Are we going to see any Nicola Bulley stuff at all? There's Truth Signal. So like I said, you know, I've replied. There's Nick. There's Nick. I'm just going to keep going until I see Chris's Substack. But we could be here a while because I do not regularly and routinely tweet and interact with Chris and their Twitter feed. There's Mickey. There's Tamara. Look, there's them. MJ fan. That's Nicola Bulley one. Like, do you see what I mean? So Eddie's got, again, a distorted view of the world somehow. Or maybe he hasn't. Maybe he's not conflating me and Chris together. But it seemed like he was a little bit there. Like he's like Chris is in some way in my chat rooms. Oh, I might get on Twitter. Twitter's the problem with it is to get to the good stuff, you have to sit through like fucking racism and right-wing propaganda and anti-trans fucking propaganda and send them back, get them on the boats, Britain first. I don't want everyone to be a Muslim. Like, you have to wade through all that shit. And then half of my newsfeed is fucking American politics, which I don't know. I'm not going to vote in America, so it doesn't matter what you say about Trump or Biden. Shut up. So Twitter is the fucking cesspit of all hell now that Elon Musk has taken over. But it was pretty bad before, let's be fair. Yeah, anyway.
You may not know him, but you soon will.
I use it because it's a social media platform to announce when I'm streaming and occasionally retweet something funny. I do not get into Twitter arguments, long-winded. I used to when I was younger. I don't now. Like, it's not an activism situation. It's just like a fucking, hi, I'm streaming. If you want to know when I'm streaming live and you're on Twitter, then follow my Twitter because you will get a tweet to say I'm streaming live. Otherwise, just don't worry.
Because if you don't go down his narrative, you're going to be the gatekeeper like the rest of us. I'll talk about Christopher from Nottingham in a little while, but
okay,
Scott, let's just analyse what I've got a problem with your video. That's picking up a lot of momentum. It's being shared all over the place.
Well, the momentum is now slowed because, like everything on YouTube, it's just going to fucking go for a few days and then peter out. It's Christmas now. So people don't give a fuck about Nicola Bulley solved. They give a fuck about sprouts and pigs in blankets and have Amazon delivered the presents and have you got the house tidy for the guests later, and you know nobody gives two fucks. I'm not like blowing my own trumpet here. In fact, I'm doing the opposite. Oh no, in a way. Like, I'm just saying, like, it's a YouTube video. It goes out and then later on you have to make another one if you want to keep up with stuff. Like, I can't be like sitting on my throne of I done a YouTube video. Like, it's just a thing.
BHTV loves you for coming out with your stuff, but he's confused about the connection.
Again, Brian made one video saying this is good. Super Chuffer seems to have hit some interesting points here. Share this and thanks very much. Like, you know, he didn't say he loved me. And like, you know, anyway, yeah.
when it comes to Nicola's family. So 2 weeks before Christmas, Scott, 2 weeks before Christmas, we've got two little girls, Harriet and Sophia.
We're going to now start using the girls as a weapon politically in this conversation. The girls don't have to watch my video, okay? I hope they won't, because they're children, and it's probably not suitable for children. When you upload, you have a button that you can press. Is this for children or not? Oh, no, this one's not.
That no longer have their mother. An aunt in Louise, their dad Paul, and they've got Dorothy and Ernest Bulley. That's their family.
Yeah, that's
Where
their
are they
family.
going to go for Christmas lunch?
Fucking
On the
Marsh
upload
Farm
is
Hall, I
in
don't
a
know.
couple of days' time. They're going to go round to the grandparents.
Are they? How do you know that?
And what have you put out there? You've put out there.
How do you, wait? How do we know where they're going for Christmas now? How do we know where and why should we? First of all, how, and second of all, why? I could just contest this with objection hearsay. Maybe they're going to Marsh Farm Hall, so you can shut up. Or maybe they're being sold off into the fucking sex trade for all I know. I'm joking, of course, about the people who think, or maybe they're just actors and they're going to go and work on Nickelodeon. I'm joking, of course, about the people who think, like, look, it just, what? Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Thank you very much for the gifted tier sub. And exactly 69 tier subs now, so you might as well stop exactly there and have the... Everyone likes that number, hey, but I'm not in the mood for that now. I mean, I'm not in the mood for waheying about the funny number. I'm more in the mood for saying thank you very much, it's Christmas and thank you. Like, I feel a little bit anxious as well. Like, you know what? I should be doing the fucking battery exhausted big stream for Christmas, because also, like, people might be generous and tippy me, and then I can give the money to charity. And I feel like I'm letting people down on that front as well. But maybe after Christmas we do a cheeky charity stream, like somewhere we just like slot it in. Because I feel like, you know, that's something we could have done this year and I didn't.
Completed, heartbroken family already. They're already broken, Scott. They're absolutely...
I should always be in the mood. Yeah, but Eddie's berating me for making the children upset now at Christmas. So, like, let's be fair, Eddie. I didn't engage in the activities that led to the death of their mother, did I?
Good. Right, they've lost their mother, they've lost their sister, they've lost their daughter, they've lost their partner. And just a couple of weeks before Christmas, rather than putting out a video saying, I've got some information that I want to share, but I don't want to ruin your Christmas because the family don't deserve that, but I have...
Yeah, no, I didn't do that. No. Not after working really hard for months and months. I mean, since it started now, I've been on it a bit, haven't I? I took a bit of a break, but didn't ever look away. And then, like, things started to fall into place. They came together, and if I'm really brutally honest, then I feel like somehow, like, was guided into this, like, spiritually, and that I had that dream and the fire and the house, and, like, you know, it's like it all added up to me for, like, this is the right thing to do. So I did it. And for you, you didn't have that information, I suppose. Or maybe you did have that information because you used to drive trucks for Ernie and you just never thought that it was... I mean, did he drive trucks for Ernie? Did he say he did? Or did he say I said he did? I'm confused now. I don't want to throw that in as like he used to drive trucks for Ernie, because I don't know if he did. Now I'm saying he did because he said that I said he did. But you know what I mean? Grandad might be Eddie just without that bit of hair at the top there. Sorry, I'm being cheeky because you're being in chat saying about Grand. Anyway, look, the weird thing is that, like, I'm quite happy with my decision, and, like, Eddie berating me about it isn't going to change my mind. So I'm glad that you didn't make a video saying anything about the children before. Oh shit, wait, Eddie, this video that you're making is bringing up the children before Christmas. And like I said just before we watched this on my chill out stream a few hours before Christmas, and I've got to go and fucking set up my computer in the other room for the fucking... Anyway, look, like, before that I was like, oh, you want to watch this and I'll watch it then, but I don't really feel it's very Christmassy and I'm not in the vibe for this shit. Eddie's dropping this on us on Christmas, thank you. I mean, obviously I haven't been involved in the murder of anyone's children or anything, so, or like I'm not the children involved in the... Yeah, like, so my Christmas isn't going to be as bad as theirs, but, like, what are we on about now?
Got some information for you that I want to share in the new year. No, you thought, let's do that now. Let's do that for Christmas.
No, I didn't think let's do it for Christmas. if you notice, I did it last week and the week before. Like, December isn't Christmas. December's December and Christmas is Christmas. I didn't drop the video on Christmas Day, and I didn't like wrap it up with it. I didn't wear a fucking Christmas jumper when I videoed the fucking read through. It had no Christmas connotations whatsoever.
And I wonder, Scott, whether would you have had Harriet on one knee?
Who's Harriet?
And Sophia on the other knee.
Are you saying their names? Are they Nicola's children's names? Oh my God.
And would you be...
I wouldn't have those children on my knees, because despite the beard, I'm not quite Father Christmas yet, am I? Like, what are we talking about now? I have never visualised sitting her children on my knees. No.
Speaking to them about Christmas. You know, where are you going for Christmas, girls? I know that you're missing your mummy. Where are you going for Christmas? Well, we're going to go to...
I wouldn't bring up your mummy. That would be bad. They'd get upset again.
We're going to go to Nanny and Granddad's. Granddad's?
Granddad's? I do an impression of him.
Granddad's? Well, I won't
Granddad's!
go there.
Big ups, Red Fan. Thank you for another tier sub. Rainbow Tower saying this is below the belt. I don't know what this is. In fact, I'm really grateful for it in a way, because I am going to upload this to Battery Exhausted after we finish, and it is going to be our Christmas episode. So Merry Christmas if you're watching this. I'm really sorry that we didn't do this song competition. There were a number of reasons behind the scenes. Copyright, massive infringement issues that could have had my channel removed. Certain other issues, I had to look into it and decide, oh God, I hate myself for not doing this. So I'm really sorry, but we've got this video, so you know, I hope you have a lovely Christmas, you chuffers, and just deal with it. My channel and this rubbish is the last thing you need to worry about at Christmas. Have a nice time.
Why not? Well, because here's the reason. Here's the reason that your mummy's dead. That's why.
What? Oh, right, yeah, no, we're doing this fantasy talking to the children again. I forgot what was happening there. He's the reason your mummy's dead.
Well, we're going to go to Nanny and Granddad's. Granddad's? Granddad's? Well, I won't go there.
Like, what do you think Nicola would fucking want?
Why not? Well, because here's the reason. Here's the reason that your mummy's dead. That's why. But you see, Scott, here's the thing. If you really believe that, and you've got these other channels that are supporting you and they love you, you've got Trisha Gelder, for example, and I'll give Trisha another shout out, who crucified me, and I'll tell you why I've got a problem with some of the things that she said.
What? What? I'm a bit worried now, because remember, every time I fucking shout out a channel... Oh wait, is that a present? Is that gifts? Is that gifts? Is that gifts? What's that? What's that? Is that Christmas? I think that's Christmas. It's not even for me. It's not even for us, Marla. It's not even for us. Come on. Come on, back in. Back in. It's not even for us. Oosh, son. Like, I really like Trisha, and I do have this problem where I shout out a channel, I say they're good. I mean, look what's happening here. And then it turns out that in like about 3 months, everyone hates me, and people don't believe in... I don't want to say the hedgehogs thing, because that made Rach even more angry, even though I legit thought that she didn't. Anyway, look, it seems like I've got this kiss of death, right? So I don't want to do that, but I do quite like Trisha. Don't know why on earth she's been brought into this. I don't know why on earth, like, Eddie's like, you know, everyone's getting it now, aren't they? Everyone's getting it. It's boxing tonight. It's like in the real world, in my world, I've got a family party where I've got to arrange the being able to watch the boxing on the telly. And in Eddie's world, it's like fucking Chris's Substack and Super Chuffer and like Trisha. Fucking Trisha's been brought into this. I'm sorry, Trisha. Sorry. And I know that Trisha's been getting a bit of online like bother recently, and I just wonder now, like, what the fuck?
In just a minute. Why not? Why not on Christmas? Why not have this Christmas bash on why I've decided to unhide my channel and actually tell you my thoughts?
Well, because you've got things to say and you want to express them.
If you were concerned that Nicola was killed because of what Ernie done, I've not heard you once put out a concern for the well-being of Louise. The other daughter that's clear.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what's going on there, do I? Like, it's not my concern for people, and like, you know, what do you want me to do? Go around and fucking guard their house? Like, I don't know what's going on there with them and what they're doing. I just found out a few things, put them on the tape, and said, "This is where they are. Look, this is the connection with the history. This is what's sus and weird." Now, if you want a reason and you want to look for a narrative as to why what's gone on, then going around the tennis club or the fucking, you know, did Nicola used to like get eggy with the dog walkers? That's not the way. That's just barking up the wrong tree. Like, I know which tree they're up. Let's start barking here. And I don't know everything, do I? Like, what do you think? What do you want me to do? Like, I'm sure Louise is well aware of all it was like. She was fucking. If what I was saying is correct, then I'm sure she was well aware in that interview she did as well. And I'm sure they're all well aware of what's going on, much better than I am, which is the whole problem, isn't it?
I've not heard you once put out a concern for the well-being of Louise.
So wait, so I'm not a good person now because I didn't try and protect Louise. Like, see, Scott found this stuff out, but if he was such a good person, he'd have fucking called childminders on the children. You would have done a welfare check. Like, what are you on about? Like, just leave it to them.
The other daughter that's clearly going to be killed, right? And clearly held for ransom, right? I mean, she's the other girl, right? Or worse still, Harriet and Sophia, right? I mean, they're now in danger, right?
Well, are they? Because Nicola's dead now, so it seems like whatever process took place, like maybe Ernest has now decided he's not going to talk after all. Or whatever, like, you know, I don't know, do I? Like, whatever processes took place, like, maybe they're not in danger anymore, or maybe they are. I don't know. Maybe other people need to talk and discover more. But, like, why are you putting this on me? I'm not going to take responsibility for this. That's their lives. Me finding out truths and exposing facts on the internet while we try and find out what happened to Nicola, that's the Nicola Bulley thing, isn't it, on the internet? And whether they're in danger and what's gone on in their past and whatever else, that's their lives. And if you think that I have some sort of moral or literal responsibility to them, and that I don't.
No, Scott. No. 2 weeks before Christmas.
Oh God, the Christmas thing
again. Not only
again.
have you ruined their Christmas,
I've ruined their Christmas. The fucking whoever murdered their mom ruined the Christmas.
A whiff of some of the stuff that you've done. Any locals in Lancashire, and worse still, that live in the local area to Ernie, that believe you because you're an influencer, whether you like it or not, you're an influencer.
Right, no, I'm not an influencer in the traditional sense, like, you know, influencer, traditional, but influencers like literally go on camera, sell products, you know, and all that. I make YouTube content. I do stream, and I make, you know, you could veer into the idea that, well, it's streaming, it's influencer, but I'm not really an influencer. I'm a content creator, and the thing I put out there was a video, and it's been watched by approximately 60,000 people. Now in the UK, there's 70 million people, and that 60,000 was all around the world. So let's reduce it. Like, let's say in the UK, there's 70 million people, and the people that watch the video number approximately, from the UK, I don't know, like 50,000, 40,000 people, yeah? So already statistically, the likelihood of all the people in the village watching my video and all being eggy about it or whatever this Christmas is very slim. Big ups Pox52 and Kitchen Warriors. None of this is funny. This is funny to me. I'm finding it funny. It is funny. It is funny. If you can't see the humour in it, then what's going on? Like, it is funny. It's sad what happened to Nicola, and I've done months and months of looking into it and talking about it, and you can't accuse me of being flippant about her death and not taking it seriously, because I've done fucking loads of it. This is not Nicola, and she's not in the video. Like, she's in the conversation, and what he's saying is fucking weird, and it's like 2 days before Christmas. So I didn't even want to cover it anyway, but Eddie's determined that because I've ruined their Christmas, he's going to ruin mine. But he's not ruining mine. I'm really enjoying it. I'm not even saying bad things about it. Most of the people in chat are calling it for what they see it as, and I'm happy for them to, like, I'm sure everyone will. Like, I just, wow. I'm blown away. It's like I've gone to Nicola Bulley's house and banged on their door and said, like, let me see the kids. Let me see the kids. Your fucking granddad's murdered your mum. Now you're not getting any presents and you have to live in a home. You're going to be sold into the rape trade. Sorry, that's getting me demonetised. But do you know what I mean? Like, it's like I've done that. Like, and Eddie's like, no, I can't have this. I'm going to stand up for what's right and call him out on YouTube. What's going on?
They're going to now be looking at him sideways.
What?
Now you...
No,
made...
you idiot. Everyone in that family already knew. Like, the kids might not, but Paul, Emma, Louise, all of the people involved in the whole narrative, the whole story, some of the police, Peter Folding, they all knew what was going on. That's my point. They hid it from the police and from us, and they just said, oh, we're trying to find Nicky, and but they knew. That's the whole fucking point, Eddie. So they've been looking at each other sideways since the day she went missing. When they did that fucking interview on the telly, Dot was looking at fucking Ernie sideways. They've all been looking at each other so sideways, you can't tell whether they're looking for you or at you.
Oh, weird. I mean, there was something weird that happened at the end of your video when you called me out and sort of said, Eddie, hey, you live in New Zealand, there's sheep in New Zealand. I thought, where is this even going?
Because you sort of led a lot of people to believe a lot of stuff on the internet like sheep. And because this whole video that I made was predicated on the animal industry, and you moving to New Zealand as an expat, like, if you add up the amount of people who move to New Zealand as expats and the amount of people who overlap with the animal industry, there's like quite a big overlap. In fact, there's fucking loads of sheep in New Zealand. It's a massive animal industry agriculture place. We get New Zealand lamb shipped in. Like, there's all these overlays and overlinks. So, like, it's obvious what I was saying. And if not, then, like, that's for... I don't know, I've just said it now.
Okay. Then you said there's a good chance that I knew Ernie and I drove trucks for him.
No, I didn't.
And
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. When did I say that? Picture it didn't happen. Evidence, please. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. What?
I was humble and I came into your chat rooms, not brave. I'm not brave, like you're not brave. People are saying to you how brave you are, putting your wisdom out there.
I'm not brave. Listen, I had to sit and very carefully think, if I put this video out and powers that be watch it and feel angry, like, look what's going on with the whole Peter Folding shenanigans, like, I had to consider my position in all this. Overall, I don't think some people are going to try and murder me over a YouTube video where I allude to things and I don't know exactly who Mr. Big is or anything like that. You know, I don't think people are going to murder me for that. But like, there is some element of me having to make a decision, a conscious decision. Whereas Luke decided to close his channel and just delete all this stuff and not talk about it anymore. I decided, no, we're going to fucking go through with this. This is what I think. I've got the courage of my convictions and I'm going to stand by it. And then what may be will be, you know, que sera, sera. And I believe there is an element of bravery in it. And for you to undermine it and pull it away and say that because people felt and understood that in themselves, that I in some way made that up. Like, they responded with that comment. I'm not going to undermine what people have said in the comments and say, no, they're all wrong. Like, I'm not here to say I'm fighting and lying, but like Daniel in the Lion's Den, David and Goliath, I know which side of that I feel like I'm on at this point, and that's the same with the Brian Harvey thing. Oh, Brian Harvey's a broken man. Brian Harvey's been Daniel in the Lion's Den. He's been David against Goliath for a long time, hasn't he? Like, that's a strong man, not a weak man.
I have never ever spoke to Ernie Bulley, and I certainly am not in the same generation as him. He's 20 years older than me. He's another generation up from what I am.
Okay, but like, is he? And are you? Okay, fair enough. A lot of people have... I don't know exactly how old Eddie is, so I'm not going to critique that. But I think just... like, being alive and... like, okay, so in the 90s, when all that animal stuff was going on, were you a child or were you a fully operational adult that could have been involved in things, is the sort of thing I'm saying. Because, like, some of the main players in the whole Nicola Bulley thing were like 15 or 16 when that was kicking off. Like, whereas you were probably a bit older and could have potentially been doing something. You keep bringing up this driving the trucks.
And obviously, and I can categorically say I've never driven a truck for him either. In fact, I've never driven a truck.
Well, I never thought you fucking had. I just thought, it's weird that someone from the same part... Okay, I'm not even going to... Why am I repeat myself? Someone from the same part of the world. These are my circumstantial pieces of evidence that point me towards, I think Eddie's like not giving it straight on YouTube, but instead is trying to cloud things and push us away from Ernie. Right, push us away from Ernie. Number one, he's always been very, very pro Ernie. Number two, he's always tried to sound like he's got, like spoken to Ernie and the family's, and again here, the family's interests. We're going to make Ernie upset. They're going to take the kids away from Ernie. All this business. Number three, he's got the same accent, so he's from the same part of the world. Number four, he's moved away like Ernie has. Number five, he's come from nowhere to have a real strong opinion on this and like voice on it. I've made my case for why I think that Eddie might be in some way tied up in some sort of bias. He's telling me categorically he's never spoken to Ernie now, and he doesn't know any of these people, and he's not involved. So now he's telling me that categorically on the internet. Okay.
Once I drove a large van. I moved myself.
Oh my God. Don't do that. That's a mistake, Ed. Like, if you've never driven trucks, just say you've never driven trucks. Don't do that thing where they say, I don't tell lies, except once I told a small lie. Don't do that. We're only 14 minutes in.
Please say I've never driven a truck for him either. In fact, I've never driven a truck. Once I drove a large van. I moved myself as a young guy when I was living in Dagenham. I used to love calling Dagenham Dagenham many years ago, and I moved out to Essex, even further into Essex from Dagenham, and I moved myself. I didn't have a lot of furniture back then, and I got a large van.
I mean, I will take from this that you are saying that you are in that area of the world then at the same time as Ernie and all this stuff that's going on. Once, when I drove out from Dagenham to Essex, so...
And that's the closest I've ever come to driving a truck. But anyway, I mean, all that aside, think about what you've done to a family that's already in turmoil.
I've done nothing to them.
They are heartbroken.
I've done absolutely nothing to them. They have no obligation to watch my YouTube video. I would assume the children wouldn't. I've done nothing to them.
I don't really know, Scott, what to make of you. I really don't. You're a lovable rogue. You're the type of guy that makes people laugh. You've got some wonderful people that love you in their chats. And there has been a lot of people from your little community that have sent me messages and sent me emails saying to me, what on earth do you make of Scott?
Well, that's because, Eddie, they're not like people within our little community. They're people on YouTube. Like the people that watch my videos, watch your videos and watch Jizzy's videos, and not all of them do, but and some of them watch other people. Like there's lots of other channels, and they watch all this stuff on YouTube. Like, it's not like you watch my videos and you're my team and you only watch me and that's it. We're in our you can come on our Discord and you can go on other Discords and you can do whatever you want. Like, we're just people. Like, it's all getting a bit. Again, this is getting a bit weird and cliquey, and like now I'm responsible for people that have emailed Eddie and have got their opinions about stuff.
They're saying basically what I think. I agree with him about how bad animal cruelty is, but what about what he said about Ernie Bulley? Everyone can make their own mind up.
What did I say about Ernie Bulley? What did I fucking say about him? I said, that's him driving a truck. He used to have a business driving trucks. He was the director of a company driving trucks. He moved out to Lancashire after all this nonsense in the 90s went bad. Like, whether you think it's connected or I do or whatever, he moved out there after that stuff went bad and started a new business that's not called truck driving. It's called truck driving, but behind the scenes it's called like some sort of science non-specific company thing. And then I think because of all that connection, there's this other connection, like I said, with the gangland stuff, and that's how Nicola's got killed. I didn't say, like, I think he's, again, strawmanning me a little bit. Like, I've left it very... in the video, I've been kind of clear about some things that I think are facts, and kind of at one point I put disclaimer, this is just my conjecture now. Is it this? Is it that? Could it be this? Like, where I'm clear, and where I'm not, I'm clear not to be. So I think it's unfair to sort of say, oh, you said this about, like, I don't know how much I did say about whoever.
I've done my best, Scott. Marlo, come here now.
Oosh.
Truck driver with a sort of roundish fat face, so that must be Ernie Bulley.
No, it's not just a truck driver with a roundish fat face. I feel like I should bring it up now and like show you the side by side, but kind of can't be asked. But because we're in the flow of this, I kind of can't be asked. But it's not. You put them side by side, they are fucking bob on only the earlobes. But things like that grow over time. We're talking 30 years of like collagen growth and sag, and like that happens.
And you've got someone that you say must be Peter Fording.
Well, it fucking looks like him, doesn't it? It's the fucking dead spit image of him.
That's not Peter Fording, and that's not Ernie Bulley. But
Okay, so I can just, I suppose I can because I had the video open, didn't I? The first one, Ernie Bulley, and it's not just the one screenshot that I took. Dear oh dear. It's not just the one screenshot that I took. There's like sequence of frames, you would say, in the source material I used. So you can go back to the original source material and look at it and decide for yourself. There's a moment where a camera flashes and his face becomes a little more clear in that as well. I could have took that frame maybe. But the difference here between the two men is that, what? Like, I'm seeing the same chin shape, I'm seeing the same mouth shape, nose shape. People say his brow is different, but then you've got a slight angle difference on the tilt of the head, you know, and stuff like that. The hairline's to me the same. The ear doesn't have as big an earlobe in the past, but it does as he's got older after 30 years. So I think that really, really looks just like him. And then you've got the other links. Like, what I'm saying is, how likely would it be that there's a man who looks that much like Ernest Bulley driving a truck at the same time in the same place of the world, where Ernest Bulley is also driving trucks at the same time in the same place? And what is Ernest Bulley doing, being the director of a company that does shipping and driving trucks, and not driving trucks full of animals? Because that's the main fucking business that goes on there. Like, what's he doing? Is he the only fucking furniture remover in the area that won't take animals? Like, it seems like he's been driving that fucking truck. Like, it's him, isn't it? It just, like, if I went to court, I would make that case, is that, you know, this is all the circumstantial evidence and there he is on video. So I don't have his employment history and his facts and all this business. You know, I don't have all that. I know he's had the company in XYZ. I'm making a video on YouTube pointing out what I found on videos, isn't it? Like, you know, I'm not a forensic accountant, so I'm not able to look through his accounts in that way. But I am able to look at videos and show you people on videos. So, like, and knowing the backstory to those videos and why it all ties together, that also makes sense as well, doesn't it? Peter Fording, same deal. Like, I mean, for fuck's sake. They can deny it all they want, but who is that then? Peter Fording apparently has a twin who works for the police in the same area of the world that Peter Fording lives in. And Peter Fording worked with Essex Police for the search and rescue, you know, and all this, and for the protester removal. So at about the same sort of time, what's happening in Peter Fording's life, right, is that Peter Fording is attending police protest removal events with his company that aren't called Specialist Group International at this time. They're called Specialist Protester or something or whatever. Like, he's turning up at these events as a protester removal specialist, working with the police at this very time, 1995. Yeah, but for some reason he's not turned up to this particular event, or he might have, but I haven't seen him on video. But this man's turned up, and he looks like, imagine you were looking for Peter Fording at the event, and you saw this man. You'd be like, wow, there he is. And you'd say, no, I'm not Peter Fording, in his Peter Fording voice. And you'd say, wow, that's weird. Are you not fucking with me? And then Peter would come around the corner and go, wow, this is a trip, isn't it? Hey, you two should take a photo together. Are you sure you're not twins? Like, it's just bizarre. I'm afraid I'm going to have to go with, they look like the exact same person on video. They're in the same part of the world. They're doing the same job, and they've got the same voice. Although you can't confirm that's his voice, but we could look through that video. There's another patch of the video where this person, Peter, is in it. So, and again as well, I'm saying, look, I think that looks like him on video, so make up your own mind. But Eddie's made up his mind that it's not. But I don't know why he's made up his mind that it's not, just because, it doesn't look like him? I can understand people saying, well, it really looks like him, but I need more proof. And then that's where I start saying, well, you've got the companies, like Peter Folding, the same thing. You've got a company that he's got that does this job in the area. That's where I come up with the circumstantial evidence. But more proof, I suppose, I don't have more proof. But for Eddie to just, and for people generally to just say, no, no, it's not though. They don't look the same. Well, then that's subjective, I suppose. Although it's not, because you can analyse the face shape and the measurements, so it's not subjective. But you know what I mean? What kind of argument do you want me to have with, no, I don't think it is?
Even if Ernie Bulley was a truck driver, and even if Ernie was a truck driver...
What do you mean, even if he was? He was the director of a company that's a truck driving, shipping freight company. He was the director of that company. So, did he not drive any of the trucks? He just refrained from doing so. On his way up to becoming director of a trucking company, and to owning ostensibly a trucking company now, at what point did he not do any truck driving in the 90s?
And Peter Fordham was in the police force, which
no.
he ever was.
I'm not saying he was in the police force. I'm saying he was on the front line of the protest removal in a police uniform. That's what the video says. The video doesn't give me a breakdown of his employment history.
How can you combine those two people to why Nicola is no longer alive?
Because if it's just a coincidence that I'm a monkey's uncle, as they say, as that expression goes. No. Because I can, and I did in the video, I can say, well, the trucks are getting through, these private companies are escorting them through, so essentially it's all a racket. It's like I don't have to explain it anymore. Go and watch the video. That's what I've said. It's all part of a racket, and they're involved in this racket together. And so years down the line, when Nicola goes missing, where are we going to start looking and pointing the fingers and sniffing and pulling at the strings? We need to be looking at that racket. And if you want to find out what happened to Nicola, that's where you need to look. And these are the key players. They always have been. That's Peter Folding turning up on the scene. That wouldn't be so bad if Peter Folding hadn't then turned up on the scene of Nicola's search, would it? They just happened to be in this video. If I found a video of someone from years ago, i.e. Nicola's dad, Ernie, and from years ago, and it's him driving a truck, that's one thing. But Peter being there as well is another. But then Peter turning up on the scene of Nicola's... So, yeah. Do I need to go over the video again?
It don't make any sense. And if you really feel that, shouldn't you have taken that directly to the police rather than put it out on a video? Because
Who do you think I am? I'm not Sherlock Holmes. I don't work with Scotland Yard. I don't know if you've noticed what I've been doing all year.
Put it out on a video, what it looks like is that you're just trying to grow, and all you keep going on about is trying
to just put out the fucking facts out onto the public. This is what I found. Here is it. Are you basically saying that people who make video documentary series about stuff shouldn't do that? They should take it straight to the police. All that Jimmy Savile stuff, I can't believe that was on the telly. That should have gone straight to the police and we should never have talked about it again. Get over yourself, you nutter.
That 10,000 subscriber. I was at 10,000. It means nothing, Scott.
It means nothing.
It means something because you're monetized and you're going to get monies for it. But what else do you get? 10,000?
Well, for me, getting 100,000 gets me that play button, and that's like a symbol that having done all this work on the internet for all this time, that you get rewarded with this sort of symbol of a certain... Now, you could buy it, you could buy the subscribers, but I'm not into that. But, it's like this symbol of well done, hard work, paid off, grow the channel, more people watch. Yes, advertising revenue. Yes, sponsorship. Yes, turn my media production into my full-time job and be successful at it. And then use that money to give to a child so that I can raise them as my own, like my own child, you know, and stuff like that. I have a family and share with other people, like charity-wise, and do bigger projects. I think that's okay. I think if we're underselling the American dream here and saying that I have to fucking not be happy at growing on YouTube, and it's not that I'm doing it at any cost, and it's like there's a whole range of, like, you know, I'm not going to critique. I could be sat here in a hot tub, I could be Mr. Beast, like, you could be anything. Today, Matthew, I'm making videos on YouTube, and you can shut up about it.
20,000, 50,000, the amount of subscribers you've got is not going to make you feel any better if you're going to put out content like that. You have no receipts. You keep going on about receipts.
The videos. Go watch the videos. Make up your own mind.
You debunked my conclusion video as well in your video.
I don't know if I debunked it fully in my video, but I can debunk it now. Is that in the IOPC report, a number of times they talked about the crime scene, the non-crime scene, and the fact that there was no signs, visible signs of scuffle, slipping, you know, on the ground. They sort of, like, if Penny and Nicola had a fight and someone had pushed someone over, when they'd done the push, their feet would have made a skid mark on the ground and stuff like that, and no signs of, like, you know, they looked at the bank on day one and had that in their mind and sort of wrote that off. So without that physical evidence, I don't think it holds true what you said about Penny pushing her in the water. And then the other thing was that the distance that Penny would have to push her, she'd have to be like a shot putter.
Actually, in your live you did on Twitch, you debunked my conclusion that there's no way that the dog walker could possibly have pushed Nicola in from the bench. Now, I make this absolutely clear, and I want to bring truth finders into this.
I'm going to speed it up a little bit now, because come on.
Well, Christopher. Truth finders, 100%, categorically, have got the audio from that inquest. And it's very, very interesting. I'm going to go on a new video, not today. I'm going to explain to you why my conclusion video stands, and I'm going to explain why, in conjunction with what was actually said at the inquest. Just in regards to a dog walker not being able to push someone over, a 10-year-old child could push someone over if they're not
right, yeah, but listen as well, we're not all happy with the inquest, are we? But yeah,
expecting it, if you're caught by surprise. I believe
she's not caught by surprise. You said they're having a row.
That the harness is a big clue. I think the harness being between the bench and the river's edge on a steep bank, I believe that harness was probably thrown there. I believe there was an altercation, and I believe that Nicola probably walked down that bank, and as she leant forward to bend it up, bend down to pick that harness up, was probably surprise push from behind to get wet.
So now it's a road rage thing where she's had the, like, premeditation to throw that down there, so you have to get it. When you go and pick it up, she pushes you in the fucking river.
Push her over. And unfortunately...
And again, no signs of that. Like, and then she doesn't remove the harness that directly points to her crime. She actually tells the police that's where she found it.
Not cold water shock, but unfortunately, as she's hit that water, she's took a breath in shock.
This is horrible for Christmas.
The water's filled her lungs up. And here's a mistake I made. I said the dog walker then climbed back over the stile and untied her dog, and then would have walked along that path while Nicola was scrambling for life. That's not true at all. And in fact, that's another really important point I want to make here. What that dog walker done was they climbed back over the stile to untie their dog, but when they got their dog untied, can you believe this? This is something that's going to come out. The dog walker climbed back over the stile again, walked past Willow that they supposedly had tied up, and walked through the kissing gate and through the wooded area.
Well, how did they tie Willow up?
The original police statement from the dog walker.
How did they tie Willow up, and how did Willow therefore get loose later? Like, if they wanted to tie Willow up, you're saying they tied her up with a piece of string, and then she got loose from that after they'd walked past. But isn't it more likely that you would have tied her up with the fucking harness, and that you wouldn't have pushed Nicola in the river because you wanted her to tie a dog up with the harness?
That they arrived at the bench around 9:30. Now you've got them facts, because that's what the police read out. That's what Becky Smith read out. That's what the police in general read out at the time.
Are we done now?
Inzi, who had actually sat down with the dog walker, who will remain nameless, said that, and I'm going to say they, so I don't even say he or she, they had arrived at that bench at 9:33. At the inquest, when they were asked, the single person, they
Listen,
said,
no offence in any direction here, but my brain is not here to do the timeline of Nicola Bulley and the inquest and all this shit now. Like, I decided what I thought about what he said. I made my video, so I'm not going to go over all that again. Not now.
that they didn't actually leave their home and got your police from being at the bench at night to walk to the bench, down to the weir. And police statement said that somebody is moving their time. There's a reason, not mine. These are not my words. The dog walker arrived at the stop for word. I climbed over the stile. Well, if that's the case, why did you tie your dog up at the stile? Because under oath, you've just said that you didn't even notice the dog until after you tied your dog up.
And again, how am I supposed to comment on any of this? Because you say you've heard it on a recording that I haven't heard, that you definitely know is the truth of what's happened in the... And I trust that Truth Finders, one of them went to the inquest and recorded it. I'm happy to trust that. But to know what it said, I'd have to hear it.
And climbed over the stile. This person, this dog walker, said that they know the bank. When you climb over the stile, or tell everyone, and in fact, no, don't tell everyone, because you're not going to tell everyone. The police need to re-question you. If that is the case, then you'd have had to have left at 9:15. The discrepancy clearly is that... Is
it going to be like this for the next half an hour?
The bank balance grow, and that's all you're doing. You are not helping them grow.
I know, it's me again, look.
Because my channel is unmonetized, and you'll never ever hear me ask for any... Your friend, Trisha Gelder, hello to you, Trisha.
Right, here we go.
Put you on the other side of you and analyse you. I've learnt a lot about being on YouTube, but you're an heartbroken father. Now we've got another discrepancy. The discrepancy clearly is that if you were there at the stile at 9:45 now, why did you have to go back there between 10 and 10 past 10 to tie the dog?
Okay, I can tell you why all the discrepancies happen with Penny and stuff is because she doesn't know what fucking time it is. She's out in the fucking field messing about with the dog, and she's confused because all this shit's kicked off, and she's about, like, you know, she's of pensionable age, and she's not supposed to be noting down every fucking minute by minute what's going on with the dog and stuff. So we'll just leave that there for a minute. Another time maybe we'll go over the pedantics of the timelines in the inquest and all that, but not now, not for me now, but yeah.
Okay. So we've got a lot of things really to analyse here, and that will be done over the course of weeks of nitpicking and trying to work this out. When Scott goes on about Ernie Bulley being responsible for the death of his daughter so close to Christmas.
I didn't say he was responsible for the death. Well, you know, I alluded to the fact that his history and the, you know, whatever was going on, that's the world and the thing that's responsible for her death. So I suppose in some ways you could, you know, I'll take that on the chin. I suppose I could say that I alluded to the idea that he was responsible for his daughter's death, but I'm not saying that like as a direct, like, you know, I think that's a bit more illusory.
Ruining an already heartbreak.
This is where you said Eddie did live export. Sorry, Kitchen Warrior, you can't do links, but I would watch it. You know, I would take it if I've said that. I don't remember saying he's driven trucks for Ernie Bulley. Like, maybe I said he might, or has he, or something like that. But like, did I say he did? I don't know. And how are we going to get that link to me? Are you in the Discord? If you're in the Discord, you can give it a link in the Discord and I can find it. Is it a clip that you've made on my stream? Because if it's a clip of my stream, I can find it somewhere maybe. Or you can tweet it at me. You can at me on a tweeter. But yeah, I'll look at that and, you know, I'll take it on board if I've said something.
Christmas. I mean, can you imagine how sad that Christmas is going to be around that table? You've got two beautiful girls going to go around there for their jelly and ice cream. And you've said that their granddad is the reason that their mother's dead. And yet have shown no concern for Louise, Harriet or Sophia that clearly are in danger. Now, I'll tell you who's in danger now.
I don't know if they're clearly in danger. I don't know if that's implicit either.
If anything, you, single-handedly, have actually put the fear of God up in Ernie. Ernie is a good man. I said that before.
I put the fear of God in him, but his daughter going missing and turning up dead didn't.
And I stand by that.
Oh, you mean like I put the fear of God in him because people think that he drove trucks and therefore is an animal abuser and should be in some way punished today? Well, if I think he drove trucks, then he drove trucks, and anything else that goes with that is on the people that drove the trucks.
A good man, heartbroken father.
And again, you're all like, he's a good man, he's a heartbroken. How do you know anything about him? Either you know him or you don't. And if you've just seen him once on the telly, then you don't know him. And I'm not saying he's a good man and a bad man because I've seen him once on the telly. I'm not saying that, you know, we should be mean to people and say, well, you know, your daughter's gone missing, but I can't be sure you're a good man, so I'm not going to get behind you. Like, I'm just saying, what the fuck? Like, in this context, you can't be doing this. You can't be doing it again. This is where you got started off, telling us all about how Ernie was this and how Ernie was that and making us feel that you knew him.
I don't know. I mean, and as I said at the beginning of this video, Scott, even if you're absolutely correct, even if you're 100% correct about Ernie, which you're not, why to make a video and put it out there 2 weeks before Christmas? I don't know. I don't know where you're coming from.
I didn't have the Christmas angle in my mind, really.
I've learnt a lot about being on YouTube, but your traits and what you've done there is actually narcissistic. And even you must analyse yourself.
All right, listen, we all have narcissistic traits. If we didn't, we wouldn't be humans. But being a narcissist means that you tick off 9, I think, or 7 of the 9. But we all have sometimes narcissistic traits. But I will display a narcissistic trait here, which is to deny and argue back and like switch or whatever. But the one thing I would say on that is that I find it really difficult not to when directly accused of something like, do you think I did the video because I was a narcissist? Because I don't really like... You'd have to explain it to me a bit more clearly. I understand that we all have narcissistic traits. So I'm going to say yes, I do. We all do. But which ones and why the video's connected, I don't know.
I'd like you to put you on the other side of you. I know that you've put me there for now and you put other people alongside you and you debunk everything they're saying. I'd like you to put you on the other side of you and analyse you, because I don't know where you get off on some of the things that you say. Your comedy, as dark as it is, upsets and offends people. This is not comedy, what you've done there.
They don't have to watch it, and the same with the other stuff. And it's not like even offensive. Like me stating, I think this is Ernie Bulley in this video. I think Ernie Bulley's driven these trucks because he's got a company that drives the trucks and he's in the area and he's on the video. So I don't think I have to take responsibility for anyone's feelings there, even though it's 2 weeks before Christmas.
This is serious. And you need to think about what you're saying. Now, you've already said that you're working on more videos to prove and to deliver another punch.
A punch? I didn't say that.
My view is if you've got me totally wrong, which you have, then what else have you got wrong? I mean, that's the only way I can really describe that. Your friend, Trisha Gelder.
Like, if I've got that right, what else have I got right? That's the way I feel about that.
Trisha, yes, I did give you a shout out early on. I like your voice. I like the way you talk. You're a very calm influence, and people like your voice. I'll talk about grifters in a moment, about our channels grift for money and what they do. Probably a good time to do it actually at Christmas, because my channel is unmonetized, and you'll never ever hear me ask for anything.
Don't even fucking start on that. You can't even have me on that, right? ASMR channel. True by Law and ASMR, right? That's my first channel on YouTube. This is 2014 I started. On here, the most popular videos have got 400,000, 300,000, 200,000, 100,000, 60,000. That's a documentary I made, crowdfunded, put it out there for free. None of this has been monetized. I made zero money on any of it. I did my channel. I realised people that watched it wanted to sleep. They felt anxious. Even the adverts were bad for them. So none of it was monetized. Don't climb on your high horse about monetization on YouTube, right? I've been there, I've done that. What I'm doing is to make myself a sustainable media producer. So I do want the money. I want the advertising money. I'm very grateful for the tippies. You know, I'm not going to be like, don't give me money. Like, in fact, I'd like so much money that it's sustainable to the point where I can use the money to make better media, that it becomes more sustainable, and like sponsorships and stuff. Eventually, I want to be able to use that money to support my actual full lifestyle, like a normal human being with a job. So I'm not going to be ashamed of that on YouTube. And it doesn't mean that I'm distorted and I have to fucking sit in a hot tub doing my nipples or doing OnlyFans, or like, even fair play to those that do OnlyFans if that's what they want to do. You know, like what I mean is, I'm not a slave to the algorithm to the point where I have to just churn out crap for cash. Like, welcome to the world of commercial media. We have to all have our ethics and our lines and stuff like that. I get it, but you can't get on your high horse because you're not monetized, and therefore you can say things without the pull of monetization. Like,
let me just at this point, before I talk about Trisha Gelder, you know, what's wrong with a couple of things she said, and I'll also talk about Vicky Marie again, because I love doing that. I love talking about channels that don't allow anyone on their channel talking about channels, but they can talk about channels, but they don't mention the channel, but you know who they're talking about.
That's totally unfair. After you called her out repeatedly, she made one video that said, I want to say this once, I don't want people watching talking about other channels. It always leads to drama. I don't want the drama. I'm doing my show about XYZ, so I'm doing my show about XYZ, and I'm not talking about all these other people. So I'm doing one video now to cover it all, because you're having it all again. I don't want to talk about other people. Please respect that. Let's move on. And I thought, whatever I think about her and her content, in whatever way, I respect what she said. I agree. Let's move on. So she doesn't have to talk about other channels. If she doesn't want to, she can choose to not.
I want to do a shout out here to anyone out there that keeps giving money to channels. Channels that will tell you how grateful they are for the money that you're giving them and that you're helping their channel grow. Let me explain to you that you are not making or helping their channel grow.
Right, giving me money doesn't directly help my channel grow, but what I do with your money will. Yeah, that's what's happened with my channel. If you go and look at it, so I don't know who he's talking about here, right? But for me, as a personal, like, I can state this clearly. Like, you can go back to my oldest YouTube and see what I used to do. You can actually, on Super Chuffer, you can literally see how, and that's my main channel, yeah, but all my content, all my channels, you can literally see, if you go to the live streams and you click oldest, like, I mean, I got that VR headset out of saving up the tippies. I thought it might lead to growth on the channel. It didn't. That was a mistake. But £300, not the major worst mistake in the world. But these early streams, I'm streaming on an old Mac computer, and the quality of my stream isn't as good as it is today. The camera quality, the like the stream, it get herky jerky. There's so many improvements behind the scenes. Like, literally, I took the money that people tippied me, I saved it up, and I bought a better computer, a new camera, lights. I bought a stupid state, but a really long wire that plugs into the internet, so I'm plugged in at the wall. Like, there's so much stuff that I've done that, like, some of these streams, this one was herky jerky. I don't have that problem anymore. I fixed it when it came up.
Again. I couldn't be happier.
Big ups, Nigel.
Nigel sent tippies.
Thank you.
Christmas gift for you, Scott.
Thanks.
Super Chuffer owes 10 hugs.
I don't know why I'm forced to get eggy. Thank you. Thanks. I appreciate it, Nigel. Nigel knows because he's been here for, you know, he's watched this entire journey. And where we're at now, right, although it's come a long way, and in a shorter time than I thought it would, if I'm realistic. I know I'm talking years here, but you have to put in years hard work to get there, don't you? But this is coming in a shorter time. But where we're at now, I'm doing a lot better quality media than I was. Okay, like, small changes. I know, like, it's camera quality, it's, you know, smoothness of stream, it's ability to do little things that on the screen it doesn't look like a massive difference sometimes, but it is. And then on top of all that, the next level that I want to go to, you know, the reason that I've saved up the money, I'm looking forward to next year, to planning out a budget and saying we're going to do this and this and this, like. Yeah, you are helping me grow by giving me money, because I'm not just frittering it away and, like, you know, playing poker with it or anything. Like, I'm saving it up so that I can use it to make better media, and you will see that that will help the channel grow. And if it doesn't, then it's a roll of the dice and it didn't work. But from what I've seen recently, that video where it's not a live stream for hours and hours and me going for 8 hours, but instead it's a 30-minute video, but it's of slightly better production quality, a script, a point, a story, chapters, editing. Like, if I can do that, you know, I keep going on about it, but, you know, me, Steve, go out, do a bit of Louis Theroux out there in the world. Like, we can do good quality media, and you will see that it will get more views because more people will be interested to watch it. And it's not simply that you have quality cameras and you point them at things and then everything's fixed. But, like, honestly, like, I've got my head around it. I know where I want to take it. And I'm really grateful for all the support, because it is exactly what's helped me. I wouldn't be where I am now without that support over the time. So everyone who's given me a tippy in any form has contributed to getting me where I am now. Yeah? So, like, he's completely wrong. Like, he's absolutely bang wrong. It definitely helped me grow. Like, if improving the media content, and the other thing I haven't done, which I will do next year, is I've always said when we get to a certain quality of media, I think we should promote it. Like that Nicola Bulley video, I could actually pay for a Facebook advert and get that out there more. Now, using the tippies that you give me help me to grow. So, like, I don't see how he's fathomed this, but yeah, let's listen to it.
You are helping their bank balance grow, and that's all you're doing.
Well, it wouldn't.
You're not helping them grow.
You'd still get 8 hours of me talking on streams, yeah. But what you'll also get is, like, a sort of once monthly initially, or once every few months initially, when we get it up to speed and going, actual video of some content of some, you know, an actual thing. Do you know what I mean? And then the other media surrounding it, you know, me talking on streams, will supplement it and talk about it. And but you'll look forward to those, like. what I'd call like bigger events where we do a more special video of some description with actual people talking and walking around and meeting people and doing things and, you know, investigating stuff. Maybe a little bit of a documentary about a true crime or a thing about this, and, you know, we'll find our way. But, yeah, you'll still get the 8 hours of me talking, so don't worry about that.
They will just take the money you give them, go on holiday, buy a car, buy new...
Right, okay, fine. He's not talking about me here, because obviously I haven't been on holiday or bought a car or anything, so...
There is a new stereo. They're grifting for your money. When you get channels, and, you know, a big hello to Vicky Marie, who's, you know, I know she's upset that I dug her out, and I really do apologise for digging a single channel out, because there's lots of channels like you out there, Vicky. I'm just using you as an example because you talk about Nicola Bulley every single day of your life. You wake up, and as soon as your eyes are open, lipstick, powder and paint goes on, brush your hair or stick a wig on, Nicola Bulley.
Oh my God, Eddie! Is he doing this? Serious? You don't want his talking about channel growth. Eddie's obviously above channel growth. Monetization means nothing to him, and nor does popularity, because he's prepared to say some of the most awful things in public that are going to get him, like... I mean, sometimes I say unpopular things. I have done recently, but do you know what I mean? Like this one, like from the heart as well. Like, it's annoying to me, this is, because it keeps going through my head and I don't want to talk about it and make a thing of it, but I care about all the people who feel unhappy about whatever happened recently with, like, me cutting back on the number of mods on the stream. Like, I care about how they feel and stuff, but like, I can't do anything about it really, and I'm not going to turn it into a big drama, like I said, but like, I care, yeah? But like, Eddie obviously doesn't care about people and how they feel, because how would he say this about, like, even if you don't like, I mean, sometimes I've said bad things about Penny Bunnies maybe, but not like bad things about her like this. Like, just that I don't like a channel and don't watch videos. I feel like Eddie's fucking throwing himself under a bus here, like throwing himself under the bus. What's going on?
For your money. When you get channels, and, you know, a big hello to Vicky Marie, who's, you know, I know she's upset that I dug her out, and I really do apologise for digging a single channel out, because there's lots of channels like you.
I do apologise, but I'm about to say something really nasty.
Vicky, I'm just using you as an example because you talk about Nicola Bulley every single day of your life. You wake up, and as soon as your eyes are open...
She doesn't talk about Nikki every day of her life. She does all sorts of different videos from what I've seen.
Lipstick, powder and paint goes on, brush your hair or stick a wig on, Nicola Bulley.
Stick a wig on? Did he say stick a wig on? Did this man say stick a wig on? Like, you can see here at the side of his head where the hair is all grey, yeah? And that's his natural hair at the side of his head. And then on this side you can see the same, the side of his head where it's natural grey. And then just under this little flick of hair that flicks over to the side there, just under it you can see the completely bald pate of balding Eddie. I mean, I'm not being mean, this is the real hair that I can see on the screen, yeah? I'm a hairdresser. And then here you've got what seems like very fine hair that's sort of flicked over to cover that on that side there as well. I mean, you could call it is it a comb over? I don't know if you could call it a comb over. It's just, I mean, my hair's going to thin, I'm going to go bald, so, you know, when I do come back to this video and say, oh, you said he was bald and now you're bald, yeah, we all do, but like, I'm not on the internet saying Vicky Marie Chats is wearing a fucking wig, am I? Like, what the fuck? Why did he bring up wigs? People in glass houses should not be throwing fucking wig critique. I don't just wear this hat to keep my hair out my eyes. I wear it to keep my hair on my head, because once it starts falling out, it's just what's going on in my life. This is brilliant. Happy Christmas, everyone. I'm glad Eddie did this, because now my Christmas battery exhausted upload is secure. I'm sorry that we didn't have a big, you know, a big thing for Christmas special. I'm going to do it. I'll come back in the new year and we'll do a big charity stream, because I really feel like giving a lot back. And I'm very grateful and thankful to everyone that's been on all the streams, and any part anyone's played in it. I'm thankful to everyone. So, you know, let's be clear about that.
As soon as your eyes are open,
including Eddie.
Lipstick, powder and paint goes on, brush your hair or stick a wig on, Nicola Bulley, and then grift for money. But here's the problem with that. When you have at the bottom of your screen, just about here, you have like a children in need charity bar going along, telling people to give you money, buy your merchandise. You pick up that mug, that empty mug every day with your face on it. Not pretentious in any way. You've got a mug with your face on it. Or you have a couple of mouthfuls of nothing and then put your mug down. There's nothing in the cup. It's pathetic. It's ridiculous. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Snippies.
For future hair plugs. Super Chuffer owes 20 hugs.
Thank you for future hair plugs. I will go bold disgracefully. I'll be very angry about it and very upset, and it will hurt me and my ego. But I will just accept it and like start using fucking peanut oil on my head or something. I'll just accept it. You're asking everyone to send pics of their Christmas crackers to Discord. Do so if you want. Oh my days. I don't know what's going on here really, to be honest.
Sorry, but it is. It looks stupid. And this bar at the bottom that even tells people how to give you money directly into your PayPal
Thank you, Snippies.
account. Let me reach out to the people that are giving you money now. Let me talk to the old age pensioners that are going, isn't Vicky sweet? Let me give her some money. Do yourself a favour if you really want to give anyone any money, and give it to your local hospice that need it. Give it to the children.
Do you know what, Eddie? I don't even want to talk about this because it now turns what I've done into some sort of like, you know, pretentious boast. But this year, I think I've given nearly £1,000 to charity. Like in one lump sum. I'm not Peter Folding. I can't afford to give £500 to a former police dog. But in one lump sum, I gave the fucking guide dogs 250 or 300 quid or whatever it was because we got back on the internet, and I promised I would. But like, you know, it's not I'm so thrown by what he's saying. Sorry, like, and I don't want to make it about me, but like,
Money now. Let me talk to the old age pensioners that are going, isn't Vicky?
give it to the local hospice. Like, I think we can choose to share with more than one. Like, I think it's unfair for Eddie to say, right, if you've got money to spare, give it to the hospice and don't give it to any streamers. Like, you get enjoyment, and like, this is me bigging myself up because I'm getting tippies and everything, but it's also bigging up Vicky and whoever else. Like, I don't watch her show really a lot, and I'm not a member in her channel or whatever. I have looked at her content recently because like Eddie's been bringing her up, but like, if people want to go there, even if I don't agree with what she's doing and saying, even this goes for the dark side filled people and the anyone else out there, like, I feel bad for them if they're confused and manipulated, yeah. But like, at the end of the day, like, people spend their money on bingo or the horses or like veal or like, I don't know, like crack cocaine, whatever they fucking, like, I don't think that someone giving some tippies on a stream, like, they're not, you know, no one's breaking their bank here, are they? Like, no one's going out of their way to like clean out their bank account and give it all to Vicky Marie. I only got £800 this month from my job, so I can only afford to give you 750 this week, Maria. And then, like, you know, no one's doing that. Like, it's like, it's just tippies and gratuity. And like, Eddie is saying that if you go for a fucking pancake meal and you have a nice pancake meal and the waiter is really nice, or waitress or whoever, like the waiting staff, I shouldn't have given it a gender denomination, the waiting staff are really nice, and you decide to give them a 20, they should take that 20 and throw it back in your face and say, you're a scumbag giving us that. You should have took it down the hospice. Fuck off with your pancakes.
Sweet. Let me give her some money.
And like, good point, Snippies. The hospice does get loads of corporate and individual donors. You're right. This year, the hospice will get a lot more money than I will, and I will be one of the people donating to them as well. Like, my local hospice, I've given up loads of our time in the past through the hairdressing and stuff. And like, I can't believe that he's just this, like, it's this weird arrogance to suggest that whatever Eddie's ethical perception is of this, that we should all adhere to it the same. Like, I mean, you know, you're talking to a vegan activist person here who's spent time like talking about subjects on YouTube to try and change people's opinions, but has had to settle into the idea that people will make up their own minds, and you have to be accepting and, you know, and like, you've got to be tolerant. Like, but this is going a bit bizarre, really, because even this, like, she's like, we watch online grifters. Like, we've made a feature of online grifters. Like, and Vicky Marie Chats, in my opinion, while she does quite happily take a super chat and quite happily do the members stuff, is not the worst of online grifters, like, in any way, shape or form. She's just engaging with the social media platform as it exists and what YouTube offers, and these days, you know, Twitch, YouTube, coffee.com, what it all offers is the ability to engage with the audience and enable them to support financially what you're doing, because they're the ones who are watching it and want it to happen. So like, it's so organic as well. It's not like anyone's out there saying, right, 10 minutes into the show, I've only got £4.50 here, so we're just going to wait until somebody gives me another 20 quid, otherwise we're not doing any more show. I've got some really important information to tell you, but I can't tell you until we get another 20 quid. Oh, by the way, I've got a really expensive Armani watch that I can sell you. Send me the money in the post and I promise it will get to you. And like, no one's doing any, like, you know, no one's swindling people in that sense. Like, some people are, and we call attention to them, but like, this is just bizarre from Eddie.
Do yourself a favour if you really want to give anyone any money, and give it to your local hospice that need it. Give it to the Children's Cancer Research Fund.
Don't give it to those people at the hospice. They're all going to die. That's a waste of money. They're all fucking dead anyway. That's a waste of money, if anything. Give it to the children now. Give it to the children at the children's. I'm joking, of course. It's not a waste of money, obviously, comforting people. I was joking, but like, now we're determining which charity is the most acceptable to give to. And I would say to you, it doesn't matter what form of charity. A lot of people say charity begins at home, and I find that to be a little bit, you know, inward looking, but it doesn't matter what form of something charitable you want to do. If you're doing something good for somebody else, like, good on you. I'm not going to judge it against the other charities and say, well, you know, I mean, there are actually companies that do that and get you your best value for your charity dollar, so to speak. But like, ultimately, it's Christmas. Eddie's angry. It's a time of loving and giving. It's Christmas, and instead Eddie's really angry, and now the hospice is not even the right charity. I'm sorry, Eddie, I just filled out my donation to them on your fucking insistence, and now I've done the wrong thing again.
Give it to Great Ormond Street Kids.
All right, I'll give it to Great Ormond Street Kids then. Fucking hell, can we just have the... Are you going to sit down next to Auntie June and pull a cracker or not? Because if not, you can sit at the kids' table this year.
You know, give it to a well-worth cause. Give it to someone that really, really will benefit from it.
I'm a fucking well-worth cause. I will really benefit from it. Oh, I know what he means, though. But that's why we do. That's how I'm so lucky to be able to. I don't know. Fucking hell.
Don't give it to a channel that comes live every day talking about Nicola Bulley with no
it's Vicky.
substance
It's
or
not
any
me.
guidance about
I've taken it too personally. It's not me. It's Vicky.
what's really happening, and just reads the news. Read the news yourself. Open up your laptop, open up your computer, put your TV on, and watch your news.
They wouldn't watch Jizzy True Crime if they did. But you have to accept, even this. I've been thinking about it. You know, I've got a potentially a video conjuring about it, but I don't know if it fits in my content. But plagiarism, reading the news, becoming an aggregator for other people, like, it will be superseded by AI. Like, Jizzy True Crime AI can do her job in like about 6 months, but that is what Google does. That's what other things do. Like, the aggregation service is something that human beings actually like. And I've been watching documentaries about things, and all they did was like do all the research and put it together so I could easily understand it and read it all out for me. Like, people do like that repackaging of content in that way. So it's a strange thing, and sometimes I get a bit eggy about it myself when I'm watching. Sometimes I've watched, like, there's these YouTube documentaries, and I've watched one about, I don't know, like Theo Von, and it's like, Theo Von did this when he was a teenager, and I'm like, I know he did, he said it in one of his videos. And then he goes, Theo Von did this when he was like getting into showbiz, and I say, I know he did, he said it in one of his videos. Why don't I just watch all the Theo Von videos where he says all the stuff? And then I realised that I did, and that took me about 20 hours. And in my brain, I've got all that information, but so has this person who's made the video, and their video is only 20 minutes long, so it's concise and everyone likes it because it tells everyone what's been going on, so they don't have to watch all the 20 hours. Like, welcome to the internet.
You don't need someone just reading the bloody news to you.
No, I agree, and that's why I don't watch people like Jizzy True Crime. I fucking can't stand it, and it does my nut too. So here, me and Eddie have found that we agree on something. It does my nut too, even because the news has got a button on the pages on the YouTube, like, not the YouTube, sorry, the internet. You can say, read it out for me. Like, most news sites these days have got, you know, for people with vision impairment and stuff, there's a button that says read it out. It'll just read it out in a computer voice while you play Hearthstone. But
Please, talk to a family member. I want to, let me ask you all this. How many out there of you, and you can put the comments down below there, how many of you out there have given money to charity against a channel? How many of you have given money to a channel instead of charity and then regretted not giving that money to charity?
what? No, the money I give to the channels, because I tippy channels. Like, the money I give to the channels is money I give to the channels. The money I give to the charities is money I give to the charity. Like, I don't...
It's raining again. I couldn't be happier.
Aspo Cuspo aka Caroline Burns sent tippies.
Fuck.
Please pass to EVB for a new toupee.
Thank you.
Super Chuffer owes 3 hugs.
Thank you very much for that. I'll pass that on to the charity, but I don't know which one yet. No, the thing about this is that, like, we all, I think, it's not like, what he's talking about essentially is the economic, this is boring, but the economic concept of opportunity cost, insofar as, if I've got £1, I might be able to buy this set of pliers, which I spilt coffee on earlier. Or, for the same £1, I might be able to buy this packet of Rizzler. But I've only got £1, so which one do I want? This or this? So if I buy this, the cost of this is £1. But what we call the opportunity cost, in economic terms, is a pair of pliers. That's what I could have had instead. It's what you could have won. That's what you could have won. But I've still got the same thing. I've got £1's worth of goods. But I can't buy both sets of goods because I only have £1. So I have to make a choice. And that's what happens as a consumer. And so the opportunity cost of having the Rizzler is having the pliers. And you make up your mind as a consumer, not just based on what's the best value or the best thing. It's based on how much stuff you have to buy with and what you need most of, and most importantly, and all that priority. But when we're talking about giving a bit of money to a streamer or to a charity, I hope, for those watching, there are some people who have literally commented and said, I haven't got lots of money, sorry, I can't tip you. Fine, share the video, watch the video, click like, comment. I'm happy, grateful. Those that have got a bit extra, that tip you a bit when they go for a coffee or a meal or, you know, whatever, like, they're not taking the tippy out of the charity's hands when they pay for the coffee and give a bit extra for the coffee, or put it in the charity tin there, and not the other. It's you've got a wider budget, and within that budget you've got enough to give both a streamer and a charity a donation. And I don't see what I do as technically, it's called donations, isn't it? But do you know what I mean? Charity donations and streamer tips, I think, are different. That's why I call it tippies. But I think Eddie's conflating the idea of the opportunity cost, and that the audience simply cannot afford to give money to both organisations at Christmas, and us as streamers have essentially stolen the money out of the children's mouths at Christmas by convincing you surreptitiously to donate to us instead of to the charity. But the irony is that I will be donating to charity myself, privately and publicly, and irrelevant to what Eddie's saying, but only because people tipping me and I'm able to give, like with everyone, like I said, you've got that collective group of money that you get together, that's your budget, and you say, I need to spend money on this and save this for money and save this, and this is the money I get to spend on, like, making the show, and this is the money I get to give to charity or tip you another streamer or buy a fucking Mars bar or do all that, and I can budget. So unfortunately, Eddie, you're wrong, and the charities are not suffering because people are tipping elsewhere. It's not that straight up. So
Charity starts at home. If you want to give your money to anyone, give it to a granddaughter, a grandson, a sister, a mother, a grandfather. Give it to someone that may really need it, not someone that just sits behind a computer every single day of their life, video after boring video, talking about Nicola Bulley.
And there's a good point, Slippy. Sometimes you'll say something, I won't get my nails done, I'll give to whatever cause you want. Yeah, I don't go out and spend loads of money at the pub, so I'm able to give money to charity, where I say to myself, of a Friday night, I used to go to the pub and spend 60 quid, and now I'm not doing that, so I can actually, I'm not going to give, like, you know, every bit of money I used to drink to a charity, and there we go, it's straight. But you know what I mean? I feel like sometimes I'm choosing not to do certain things, so I've got slightly other money to do, and there are things I want to do, like give money to charity. So like, I'm still doing something I want to do. Like, I don't know, yeah, Eddie's just completely gone mad here.
Garbage. This is not a community anymore. It's become a joke. Someone that gloats because Peter Fording had to ban this person because they were probably being a damn nuisance, sending garbage messages on his Facebook.
He's talking about Vicky got banned from Peter Folding's Twitter
or whatever, and then gloats that they've been blocked. Look, I've made an impression on Peter Fording, but let's not call him Fording, let's call him Folding. I stand by my opinion of Peter Fording. I would have liked him to have come forward sooner. I mean, I believe his hands were tied, but I'm not going to go there on that. Peter Fording...
Hands were tied. I think Nicky's hands were tied.
For whatever reason has come out now. And there are going to be people saying, but Eddie he's giving the sonar image to this person, that person, this person, that person. Yeah, okay. It's not how I would do things. That doesn't mean he's a bad person. And yes, he does have a lot to fight for. He's not going to win the battle. I mean, I think the police force will just carry on closing him down. But for channels to be name-calling, calling him a clown, and other vulgarities, it's ridiculous. I'm zipping all over the place here because there's been so many messages, you know, people saying to me, please give me your take on Scott. We really like Scott, but we don't know what to make of this video. We really don't. It's picking up momentum. He's going to do a follow-up video. He was probably waiting for people like me to open my big mouth.
In terms of doing a follow-up video, what I'm going to be doing, like I said, is I'm going to be finishing the IOPC report, and during the investigation to bring to light what I did, I found some very interesting videos and a sort of different avenue that I could have gone down talking about a particular animal exporter. So I will be following those like avenues and doing those pieces of content, maybe as live streams. But I haven't got like a special follow-up video plan for this. Like, this was all my stuff that I found out, put into a video there out on the internet. I haven't held back or, like, you know what I mean? Like, we will be following this thing, but again, I'm being sort of misinterpreted maybe.
Oh, you know, it says Eddie Lockjaw Davis. Look. I don't know, Scott. I don't know anymore. I don't know. I don't know you. You're right. You give shout out to channels that turn into morons, you say, or idiots. That's probably what you're saying about my channel.
I didn't say that. I've never said morons and idiots, have I? Like, quite a lot of the things that I'm being accused of here are slightly, not quite, nutters is the word I use.
My supporters. I don't have as many as you now. I biffed the channel. It was accidentally I've done that. I actually clicked on the buttons and it said, do I want to hide, delete? And I clicked delete. And unfortunately, when I tried to reinstate that original Eddie's Final Break, I got actually an
What about when it says, are you sure? Yes, no. Did you accidentally click yes on that as well?
email from YouTube telling me that once you delete a channel, it's gone, it's history. And they explained to me how to hide a channel if you want to ever hide a channel. So I hid this channel. And I actually did originally put my subscriber base back to zero. I've actually noticed today that YouTube have put my subscribers back up there. So if you are subscribed to me and you don't want to be, go into your YouTube and...
Hang on. Oh, you hid it, and then when you brought it back, now the subscribers are back from the old... I don't know. Yeah.
Scroll down on your subscriber base, how many you've got, and if you right-click on that or just open the channel briefly, you can unsubscribe. I'm okay with that, okay? I'm okay.
No one cares.
I don't want your money. I don't want any of your money. It's Christmas, for crying out loud. Stop giving it to channels that don't need your money.
Oh, my God.
They want your money, but they don't need your money. They're already monetized. They're already getting money from YouTube's, and they're not getting much because you need a lot of views, but they're getting money already.
That's the problem, isn't it, Eddie? Is that at the start, you don't get much for your views, so you need a lot of them. So to get the channel to grow, you rely on community support, and hopefully if you do it correctly and you're not some idiot that just spends all the money on kebabs, you use the money to grow your channel, and then you're in a stronger position then, and you can say to people, I'm really grateful for any tippies. They're going to go to charity on this stream because it's a special charity stream, because we're at a size now where I've got a sponsor and the YouTube AdSense, and that is providing me with what I would call sustainability to a point. I don't have to grow million, 2 million, but I'd say 100,000 get the button, you know, regular 10 to 50,000 on a video, with the good ones getting 100,000 views. Happy with that, because regularly doing that and setting up the process to make more of it can become sustainable. So it's just a thing. Like, chill out, Eddie.
From YouTube, and of course channels that have a Patreon that, or they call it a community membership, where you will have a private little community chat, but then the next day they upload it on YouTube for more money. And you think, well, what was the point of that? I might as well have just not been in the membership. I might as well have just watched it the day after.
The whole point is you're trying to give members something a little bit extra, but you don't really want to create your best content and hide it behind a paywall, because, like you said, ethically, I'm not monetized, you know. But at the same time, you want to offer those members who are giving you that bit extra something extra. So what's happened is, Eddie, is that socially, society answers the question for you, and what's generally acceptable amongst the people that use this platform is you do a members stream and then you put it on YouTube later so everyone can watch it, so you're not hiding it behind a paywall, but they couldn't watch it live. That's for the members, so they get a bit of something extra. And there's another way to do this, which is you do a live stream live where everyone can watch it, and then at the end you make it subscribers only, members only, so that everyone had a chance to watch it live, but then subscribers only for the replays. So that's an extra thing members get, and that way you're kind of footing both camps, being as egalitarian as possible, making sure that everyone can get something, and you're also trying to give something a little bit extra to members. What's wrong with that? It's the common way to do it on YouTube now. So you're just going to have to either accept it or be cross.
Trisha Gelder. Trisha is a tarot card reader. Now, me personally...
And the thing is, if you don't want to do that, and you're doing like some special channel because you're just trying to save donkeys, and like, you know, you don't want to take any money away from the donkeys, and you don't agree with them, YouTube... I used to do it, like I said, the people who are watching, I didn't want them to have to watch adverts and be abused by the adverts, and I don't believe in the adverts ethically, and the people are vulnerable and they're looking for help with anxiety and stuff. So no monetization on the ASMR channel. Like if you've got ethical concerns, just do it then. That's fine, because Mr. Beast and Jake Paul, they're going to do they're going to take loads of monies. and like everywhere in between is everyone else. So you're just gonna have to accept it. Like it's like going in the like pub and being like, you know, I could complain. These beers are quite expensive. They're cheaper in the supermarket. Are you trying to turn a profit out of me behind this bar? Like, well, go out the pub then and leave. Like, it's not as even as egregious as that here. You like, is it? It's like nobody's like overcharging you for anything. Like, if you just want to do it, you can.
Me personally, and not you, okay? How can I put this politely?
Here we go. This is Trisha
A
now.
load of bollocks.
Oh.
Personally, just me personally, okay? Now, I know a lot of you will go, no, Eddie, no, I've met some really good tarot card readers.
Right, this is the other thing that's fair though. In fairness, where's my tarot cards? If you want to do a channel on the internet that stands by tarot card reading, yeah, then you have to be open to the idea that some people are going to say tarot card reading is bollocks and it's not magic and you don't get any, you know, you might as well be reading the back of a cereal box and just telling people a load of shit and it's bollocks, yeah? Some people are out there literally scamming people, saying, I can speak to your dead relatives, give me 50 quid. Like, you know, I'm a special magic person, give me 50 quid. And they know full well they're not and they can't. Yeah, some people are doing that. And some people have what they consider a gift. And whether it's something that's traditional, colloquial, non-scientific, they believe in, and they believe in it, therefore are not trying to scam people, but they believe in it themselves. But it might not even be a real gift, you've got to open up a small fraction here where I'm going to say, even though it's non-scientific, I think there's something in the psychology and the intuition and some part of some sort of je ne sais quoi, you know, a little bit of seasoning of magic, let's say, that some people do believe in, get a lot out of, and if that's up to you and you like that, then all the debunking in the world, you still get to make your choice. You still get to go on which fucking ride you want to go on at the the fair. Like, you still get to, like, I view Trisha's work, for me personally, as something entertaining that I enjoy watching. So it doesn't matter whether it's a video game stream or, you know, a sports event or somebody doing tarot cards. If I'm watching it for an hour and a half and I'm enjoying it, like, I'm not naive. I don't think that, like, you know, someone's seeing into my mystic soul and telling me some eternal truth that I have to go out and sell all my house or anything. I'm taking everything with a bit of a pinch of salt and I'm just enjoying it. So it's fine for me. But for Eddie, it's all bollocks now and it's time to cast judgment again. And there are people, though, that I say, you know, let's be fair, I would say this about some other supposed psychics out there, like the Jason Dean Rothwells of this world. I would, you know, so I can see that Eddie's saying about Trisha. So I think we've got to be careful here to, if you're going to be in Trisha's world, or even my world, because I've sometimes done some tarot stuff on streams, I think you have to accept that people are going to call it bollocks. But we'll see how far and deep he goes.
Me personally, and not you, okay? How can I put this politely? I think they're a load of bollocks. Personally, just me personally, okay? Now, I know a lot of you will go, no, Eddie, no, I've met some really good tarot card readers. Well, let's take Trisha Gelder just for a minute.
And there's another part of this, right, which is that Trisha has never asked me for any money. She's offered her services at the rate she offers them, like I would as a hairdresser. You don't have to come and get your hair cut with me. You can go and get your hair cut somewhere else. You don't have to have your hair cut. I'm not forcing you to sit in the chair. If you want your hair cut with me, it's going to be £40 for well, it used to be £40 for a, like, you know, straight ladies cut and blow dry or whatever at a certain point. Maybe it'd be more, a lot more these days. But like, let's say it's 40 quid, you know. If you want it, you can have it. If you don't, you don't. But if you want to come in and chat to me and, like, you know, mess about with your hair and do a fringe trim and stuff, I'm open to all that. Like, no cost there, of course, no charge. Like, Trisha offers her services, in inverted commas, as tarot reader on the internet, essentially free of charge for those that want to watch it and engage with the entertainment aspects of the stream, or even the informative aspects of the true crime aspect that she's been doing recently. And then if you want to pay her money and have a private reading, that's totally up to you, and that's like something she offers as a service, in the same way as if she offered like a head massage, or to audit your accounts, or if she offered to service your car engine, or to cast Reiki magic over you with a magic wand. Like, all of those things, you could choose to have the service if you so desire, and she doesn't twist anyone's arm and make any weird thing about it, as far as I've seen. And me personally, I've promoted her channel so far, as I've said, you know, and I've been engaged with her content and, you know, talking to her and stuff. I've even tippied her, like, when she's been doing the show, because I'm watching it and enjoying it. And then at no point has she come to me behind the scenes and said, "Would you, here's my special offer for my reading, and there's something bad happening that you're going to need to know about, so I'm going to need you to get a reading quick, otherwise but I can't do it for you unless you give me £30." Like, she's not doing any fucking scamming. Like, she's not doing, like, the next step would, as a person doing the tarot thing, would be to, you know, give people the idea they needed to give you the money, otherwise they couldn't, and there's a special secret. She's not doing that. So as far as I can see, no problems. You're a Reiki master and you got ones too. I tried to make that up as a bizarre one that didn't make any sense. I didn't know there was actually ones with Reiki, so sorry about that. But, like, yeah.
She's got quite a big audience for, you know, and I'm not saying, Trisha, you're bollocks for 1 minute, okay? I'm just giving you a shout
You just did.
out because you called me a narcissist. In fact, you compared me with an ex-thug of a boyfriend that used to
Oh,
throw
right.
things around, like throw cups at.
Oh, okay. I see. So this is going to come out really badly and Eddie's going to be really cross about this, but you're saying that Trisha compared you to someone in her life who was aggressive and confrontational and didn't take negative feedback well, and you're doing it in a sort of aggressive confrontational tantrum sort of way. So she's going to feel vindicated in the way you're responding here, that at least you had the right judgment call. Like, you could have calmed the fuck down before you did this and it could have come across a lot better. Yeah.
I've even had people say, "Oh, but Eddie, when Eddie does these, he looks right into the camera." Where do you want me to look? I'm looking in the camera because that's where the camera is, okay? I'm talking to you all. Where do you want me to look? So Trisha says that I remind her of a thug of an ex-boyfriend that sort of would throw cups around, smash walls, smashed an oven door once by throwing a chair through it, and all the rest of it. She compared me with this person. There's a couple of things wrong with that. Number one, Trisha Gelder does not know me from a bar of soap. I have never ever thrown a matchstick across the room. I certainly would never ever damage my or anyone else's home when I was in that home. I'm passionate. I was brought up in the East End of London, and we were brought up to be, you know, just say how it is. A bit like the Yorkshire guys, you know, they're kind of tough as well, tough exterior. You have a tough upbringing like I did. It makes you fight for everything you've got. And that's...
It's going to then be levelled at you that being boorish and rude because of social circumstance through upbringing is something that you can throw off and you don't have to take on as a sort of personality trait, and that we all agree, like, we all tread the same line. I'm saying it for myself as well, saying it like it is, agree, tick, like it, agree, forthright, honest, no tact, no compassion, like, guilty of it myself, agree, seems like a negative, bad negative. So there you go.
What I'm like, I'm a bit passionate. I just say how it is. I say it how I...
And often passionate, I don't like the use of passion. Like, we've all got to be careful of this, because I think we all do this, is we absolve ourselves. I say, well, I was really angry when I said that, but I don't want to say that, so I'm going to say I was passionate. So passionate's an acceptable form of anger, but, you know, being able to discipline people once you've lost your discipline is impossible. So, like, self-control and that inner zen, that ability to not react with anger, it means that you don't have to then describe it as passion. Like, you can be passionate but not be angry, I suppose. It's about discipline.
Find it. There'll be some of you out there that will disagree with my point of view, and there'll be some that will totally agree. If you disagree, that's fine. You don't have to be watching my video now. I don't need your money. I don't want to be monetized. I'm never ever monetizing. Listen to those words. You will never get me monetized. I don't want anything from YouTube. I do want justice for Nicola. When Scott Jessup, who's put out quite a slanderous statement that because of Ernie Bulley, his daughter is dead. I think he also said that Paul kidnapped her and Emma carried on doing the walk. And I know... I
didn't say Paul kidnapped her and Emma... in the past, I talked about Emma's position on the walk, you know, in other videos, but on that particular video, I didn't say that. I don't think I directly said that in that video, although I suppose you could consider it was alluded to. I said that's him in the truck, and because of these goings on and these links, I think that's the world, and that's why Nicola Bulley has been kidnapped, essentially, like, as a message to Ernie. Is what I said. So I think we're being a little bit, you know, we need to be careful.
There'll be some of us out there saying, but Eddie, you once said Paul did it. Never have I ever said Paul Ansell murdered his partner, Nicola Bulley. Not once. I dare anyone to come up with any proof.
Well, Penny's going to be having a nice Christmas when she said that she did it.
Have I ever said that? I have never, ever said that. I did say that he was acting strange. I did say, through a work in progress, why did he do this? Maybe he did that. Maybe they're covering that up. But not once did I say that he was solely responsible for the disappearance and then the death of his partner, Nicola Bulley. Not once. Not once. So those of you in Christopher's blog that keep doing it, the trolls in his blog that have become the gatekeepers themselves with this neurotic universe.
Okay, I'm just going to have to quickly introduce you to this. Chris's Substack. So when you go onto Chris's Substack, it will ask you to sign in but you don't have to, do you? Well, I never did. Fuck off. Yeah, look, I didn't have to. I'll drop a link in chat. So Chris writes a blog on the internet and he thinks it's a psyop, but because he thinks it's a psyop, he's very critical about all the evidence. So he critiques all the evidence. So it's interesting. And that's Chris's Substack. I'm going to just continue reading, thanks. I've read it. I've looked at it. I'm not aware of the comments and the forum that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can see the blog. I'm scrolling through it. So I'm assuming at the bottom somewhere there's going to be a comment section, but you'd have to get all the way through all the content first to get there. And I have not personally engaged with any comments on it. There, okay, at the bottom here, subscribe, top new community. So there are, no, they're the blogs. They're the blogs that he's posted. I don't see where the conversation is here that Eddie's talking about. I'm not aware of it on the blog. Maybe Eddie can, you know, elucidate that point, but you don't have to go to Chris's Substack, find the fucking comments wherever they are, and then read through them and get cross if you don't want to.
Ex-university grad, a failed teacher from Nottingham. I mean, where do I start with him? Where can you start talking about him? I will in a moment, but let me just clear this up with you. Let me just clear this up about the impact what words can have on YouTube. When you just throw stuff out there, like you've done, Scott, the damage is not always just today. Harriet and Sophia will grow up. They will become young teenagers, old teenagers, in their 20s, and they'll come across your video. And of course, by then, maybe when they hit 20...
Maybe, but, you know, the truth of what happened to their mother is quite important. And I had to reason that out myself. I've said it before, I'll say it again. You know, I had to make my own ethical value judgment. You know, I had to have my own spiritual conversation. And I made my decision. So you're not going to make me feel bad now or guilty after the fact. Like, I'm just going to let that just wash away over me, what he's saying here.
5 or 30, maybe their granddad will no longer be walking this planet. And they will be listening to your words. And you, Scott, will be an old man by then as well.
Will I?
Are you really, honestly, are you really happy with that video and some of the things that you've said?
Yeah.
Most people that you've got on your side is about the animal cruelty. Everyone should stand united about that. I don't believe that animals should be used in the way they are. It makes my stomach churn with how disgusting those places are. I'm with you 100%.
Right, and then what about the people who remove the protesters from those places and remove the protesters from the trucks? And then what about Peter Folding being one of those people? Because he is one of those people. And what about Nicola Bulley's dad being one of the people that drove the trucks? Because other than the video that we're contesting and the fact he has a company that drives the trucks, I suppose there's no link.
But to combine Ernie with that, that's not fair, mate. It's just not fair.
It's in the video.
And it's cruel on a family that's already heartbroken. And I'm going to keep saying that until someone out there says, Eddie's right, you know. That was a low blow. It really was a low blow. So Trisha Gelder, who I was talking about...
Wait, are we saying that is he saying that I contrived to find somebody who I thought looked like Ernest and then just lie about it? Like, because that's obviously not what's happened, is it? Like, you can all see why I thought it is Ernest, because it looks just like him. So, like, that's the evidence. And if you think that, therefore, I didn't... Like, Eddie either believes that I'm making it up and, like, I somehow cleverly found some old video that looks like Ernest and I'm like... or he thinks that I'm mistaken and I'm wrong. If he thinks that I've done it deliberately, then it's a low blow, isn't it? Because I've made up some weird shit. But if he thinks that I've done it because I honestly thought it was him and it's not him, then it's not a low blow, is it? So what he's actually accusing me of is fabricating... I don't even fabricate. I say, this is what I see in the video. This is what I think. Because he's got the company, this is the link. Like, make up your own mind. At the end of it, when I say these are my conjectures, this is the sort of area of, you know, where I'm on. Like, you know, that's my conjectures and that's where I'm on. I think it's fair for me to have that after like 9 months of covering this.
She says that I'm a narcissist, a reminder of her boyfriend. And without knowing me at all, she's already judged me on that one video. She knows who I am. She knows everything about me because she's a tarot card reader. Yet the thug of a boyfriend that she lived with, and the relationship was as bad as it was.
Eddie, what it is it's not the tarot card reader, and the same with Vicky Marie Chats on this, it's this vibe that's coming off now. It's this like eggy, controversial, like not controversial, you know. It's this tone. It's this tone, and I think people who are intuitive, empathic, once they've been in situations, it's almost like a sort of survival instinct that you learn over time. That like when you feel the vibe change and you feel the, you know, like you just feel when you feel the vibe, like you know, I don't know, am I explaining that enough? Like it's like a vibe check thing, and like when you feel it, you know, and you're just like, yeah, I'm not down with this. So yeah.
Once did she think when she was on her own, you know what I might do? You know, I think I might read his tarot cards. Jack, I've read the tarot cards, and it says that you're not a nice person and our relationship is over. No. Couldn't do that, right? The tarot cards didn't help her then, but the tarot cards have helped her this.
Whoa. Obviously, this video is going to get deleted, isn't it, Eddie? So let's just hear that again.
His tarot cards. And without knowing me at all, she's already judged me on that one video. She knows who I am. She knows everything about me because she's a tarot card reader. Yet the thug of a boyfriend that she lived with, and the relationship was as bad as it was. Not once did she think when she was on her own, you know what I might do? You know, I think I might read his tarot cards. Jack, I've read the tarot cards, and it says that you're not a nice person and our relationship is over. No. Couldn't do that, right? The tarot cards didn't help her then.
I'm sorry, Trisha. I imagine hearing this, you're actually feeling really bad now. So, like, you've got loads of friends around you, and you're not in that place anymore. And people like Eddie can do this sort of thing on their own in their room with their records, but like, they're not in our direct line of, like, you know, they're not like here now doing it in real life. So, but yeah, I imagine it just makes you feel the things that you used to feel, I suppose. So I'm sorry directly for Trisha there. But hello, Trisha. Oh, you're here in chat, right? Yeah. Fuck. Like, what's going on? Like, Eddie's like, I'm not a bad person, and for me to prove it, I'm going to show you how fucking, like, Scotty Jessup did a low blow. Let me explain what a low blow is. If you don't know what a low blow is, there's one. Have that. Like, sorry, I thought you were being nice to me. Sorry, I didn't realise you were just talking nicely to me. Now you've delivered a low blow, so now I understand fully what one is. I'll be cautious of those in the future, Eddie. Although I shouldn't be, because my own caution against personalities like your own is exactly the wrong thing to do, because it's prejudging you that you're a bad person without actually knowing you. Until we wait for you to actually exemplify why you are one by saying things like that on the internet. Like, we don't even, Trish, don't worry, like, you don't have to, like, nobody has to explain, or maybe somebody needs to explain to Eddie why, like, you know, life is not as simple as that. Like, maybe someone does need to explain to Eddie, but I don't think he'd understand. But I think for the rest of people who realise, I think it's implicit in those that know why that's a bad thing to say, know why it's a bad thing to say, and they know that, like, people in situations, whether they feel trapped or are physically or like intimidating intimidatory, or through the process of, like, when you're in a relationship with someone, it's not as simple as, right, this happened today, so tomorrow everything is over and we're not living at the same house anymore and I'll never speak to you again. And the other person generally doesn't say, oh, I agree with that, okay, don't worry, I've already deleted you out the phone, I'm off. Like, things are a bit more complex than that, aren't they? But not in Eddie's world, for some reason. Like, I can't believe he's done this. Like, I honestly cannot believe he's done this. It's absolutely incredible. Like, to the point where I'm sort of smiling, because it's like a smile of shock. It's like I'm watching someone, like, to me, I know it's designed to make you feel bad, but to me, I think he's the one that's going to feel worse about this in the long run. Because I think the majority of people are going to think, what the fuck? Like, if we're in the pub at this point and this is being said, this is the moment where, like, I'm compelled to go and step in and say, all right, mate, you've said your thing now. Do you know what I mean? It's time to fucking shut up now. Like, we've still got another 20 minutes of the video, but at this point, this is the bit where I would have stood up in the pub. I don't care who it is. Like, it's like, all right, mate, you've had your drink now, you've said your thing, time to leave. And I'd rely on the rest of the people in the pub to sort of back me up on the general consensus that we don't want to listen to any more of this. but in a way we're going to, because there's 20 more minutes. But what the fuck? Like, I think I've covered it now. I think I've said my opinion on it. It's bad. He's made himself look really awful. We can all understand why it's awful. It's one of the worst things bearing in mind all the different stuff we've covered all year. It seems weird a couple of days before Christmas that I'm being accused of being the bad man at Christmas when Eddie's got this prepared for us a couple of days before Christmas, and it is literally the worst thing I've heard someone say on the internet all year. Like, without shadow of a doubt, like, it is the most loathsome and like, I'm stunned by the sort of class, like the absence of class, the levels of snide and the like instinct to try and hit where he perceives it hurts, with both your credibility as, you know, a tarot person on the internet, and also like times that have been difficult for you in your life. Like, let's combine those in one sort of hideous slur that, if he says it out loud, will make him look like what he should have done if he wanted to say this is he should have put it in and now I'm wondering, you know, you've been having trouble on the internet for the last couple of days, haven't you, Trisha? I'm wondering who's fucking doing that, because someone feels like they should have saved that for their fucking sock account, for their trolling account or whatever, because that was like, you know, bloody hell, Eddie. Bloody, don't worry, Trisha, don't worry about bloody hell. It's, you know, no one's going to feel bad. No one's going to feel negatively about Trisha because of what Eddie said. In fact, it's like, he obviously doesn't care about monetization and growth. I'll tell you that. Like, misogyny of the highest order, I think that was, wasn't it? Misogyny of the highest order. Got a lot of records, hasn't he? He's got a lot of records. Misogyny of the highest order. Wow. I'm speechless. I'm absolutely amazed by this. Absolutely amazed. I'm kind of letting it sit for a bit because I just don't... just what the fuck? It feels like one of those where... Because Eddie's, in my opinion, quite a nice guy, I thought, wasn't he? And then it's like one of those where you're watching like Kanye West on that interview where he said the bad things about the Jews, or... like, even that was like almost expected, wasn't it? But like, it's like, you know, you're watching like, you know, someone on an interview on the telly and you think they're all right, and then they say some fucking horrible fucking clusterfuck of a thing, and you're like, what? Well, that's you're not selling any more books. Looks like that chat show's out of the question next season, and you're not going to be doing the comedy special this Christmas. What did you say? We end up on GB News next. Yeah, see. Big ups, Trisha. Yeah, reading someone's energy is not, tarot is not required, is it? Like I was saying, I think some people have like the ability to pick up on, like, you know, human, like, what is it, like 90% of our, or whatever, I made up a statistic there, but, you know, non-verbal language makes up a lot of our language, doesn't it? Why did he say that? Why has he done that?
But the tarot cards have helped to decide who I am. And then you're using community posts like everyone else, little quibs that not directly aimed at me as an individual, but just anybody, just direct it at anybody that you think might read that and go, yeah, see, I've hit an... Okay,
there's one where you've got to be careful of that, because that's you that takes that out of it. Like, lots of people are going to post lots of little, like, oh, is that a backhanded? Is that a jibe at me? Oh, is that, you know, they've posted this community post with this quote on it and it could be read as a jibe at me, but then that's you feeling really defensive and thinking the world's out to get you, and like, it might not be about you. Like, earlier on I thought some of what he was saying was about me, and it was about lady Vicky Marie Chats, and so, like, you know, you got to be careful to do. I mean, we all fall into that trap, don't we? So yeah, got to be careful, Eddie, but it feels like he's in siege mode now.
Again, just keep giving her your money. Just keep giving her your money. Give Vicky Marie,
God.
Michelle, give Gisela, Give all the channels your money. Just
Give them your money.
Christopher
Money. Tips gold money. Money.
from Nottingham and his wacko blog has called me names.
Oh, it's funny this as well, right? Because Eddie doesn't know that I've spent 3 years prior to this watching Dark Side Phil and all the people that make content about him and learning really deeply about, not even being funny about this, but the ethics and the morals and the standards of internet behaviour when it comes to tipping and community vibe and stuff like that. That's why we did all that stuff on that other man, on that angry man. It's just it's coming from sideways here in a really weird way about the money angle all the time. So he's cross about, and what I'm reading from this is he's cross about the money, right? He's pretty eggy as it goes, especially Eddie, Trisha's things she's made him particularly eggy with the narcissism things. I never said personally that, but the traits of narcissism, the problem with it is that his eggy response to it is like a narcissistic, this is kind of like how a narcissist might respond. So he's played that badly. He's pretty eggy about the money as well. And Christmas as well. He was eggy about those girls and Christmas. But I think maybe that's a contrivance to sort of, leave the emotional angle first. But I'm getting a lot about this Munnis.
Keeper, part of the establishment. He's now coming out with garbage like Nicola never ever went in the water.
Who's this now?
Money. Just keep giving him your money. Christopher from Nottingham and his wacko blog has called me names, has said that I'm a gatekeeper, part of the establishment. He's now coming out with garbage like Nicola never ever went in the water. Wait for it. You're going to love this. Okay,
right. So Christopher, with the psyop stuff, yeah. So we're not going to factor all of us into him. That's a bit unfair because he's an independent person. But what I would say is, like I said, recently when I dropped my video, he came at me and said, basic words to the effect of, "You're on the fucking side of the, you're doing a fake psyop and you're one of the psyops." And I was like, "Listen, mate, I've read your blog. I'm interested, but I can prove that I'm not a faker. What do you want?" And he was like, "You didn't do all the research and do that." And I was like, "Right, bang, got you. Did. Absolutely." Within seconds, photographed it on the video on the screen. He's seen it. So Chris now can understand if he wants to come to me and get confident. I don't want to do this with all the mad people, but Chris writes this blog and all this. I sealed it, settled. Eddie obviously hasn't, and he's really cross about Chris's opinion. But then you have to understand, Chris does think that it's all a psyop and that everyone's in on this fucking thing and they're all actors. So maybe this is my point about what I did in the video, is that the confusion is that maybe you are Eddie. This is where I feel as well, is that if you knew Ernie from way back and you've got your own irons in the fire and, you've got your own reasons to not want certain things to bubble to the surface and, for certain, you want the things to point one way, then in that case you might appear to be an actor or appear to be fake because you might be doing things that are sort of fake and you might be sort of acting, but not because you're a paid actor and a shittle, but because you've got your own interests, and so have all the people from back in the day, from the 90s, including Peter Folding, Ernie, maybe you, and that's where I was coming from with the video. And that's as much as I really said about it and will say about it.
Was never ever found in the water. When YouTube channels get blitzed with people that you call trolls, I'm going to call them trolls just for the sake of it. I don't think they're trolls. They're human beings with a different sort of point of view.
Well, there are a lot of actual trolls out there, and there are sort of groups in the crime world, and Peter Folding and his friend that does Twitter, the ex-policeman or whatever, they do just have loads of accounts to sort of sway opinion by pumping a load of opinion out there, and sometimes it veers into trolling, and certainly we know of some other channels that do actual trolling, don't we? Like the mean kind. And over this last year I've had my dad's address published in my chat at one point when it got really bad. There are trolls, so wakey.
Some of them are obsessed. Now I know that I gave Laurie Green a shout out, and she's been running with it. I think she loves the fact that I've I've actually made a point of not touching my nose, because ever since Scott says that all Alan does is touch his nose, have you noticed all Scott does now is scratch his nose? It's almost like contagious. But I mentioned Lorraine Green because I don't watch now. I've decided not to watch channels anymore. So, for example, I pulled up Vicky Marie, and she starts talking in a, "Hi, it's me, Vicky Marie. Give me all your money. Hey, just buy my merchandise. Here's a cup. Hey. Now, let's talk about Nicola Bulley. Hey." So, sorry. I'm teasing, Vicky. I'm teasing. That's what you sound like. Honestly, no, you do. You do sound like that.
Does he want to have a fight with them? Like, should we just, I think what we need to, Vicky doesn't want to do this, obviously, but it feels like we need to have Eddie, Vicky, like he can make his list, we get them all on the live stream together on the panel, and then one by one, Eddie can have a fucking row with them each. And I'll sit there and just be like, all right, now it's time to stop talking now. Shut up now. Right, next question from so-and-so. And like, we can just all have a big fat row on a big stream and get it all out and have a big fat row. And then once we've had our big fat row, then everyone's happy then, yeah? Or something. I don't know.
Lorraine Green, right? I was talking about Lorraine Green. So I was watching one of her channels, one of her videos, and I muted her voice so that I didn't have to listen.
I don't even know who this is that he's talking about now.
Because it whines a bit, and it just, you don't have to listen to it. It just goes round and round. And it's just, you can watch any video from any time, and they'll just say the same. So on one of her videos, I went into the comments because I like to read the comments. I like to see who's sort of blowing smoke up my arse, and then he's bad-mouthing me on other channels as if we can't see that, right? That's where I've caught a lot of people.
Okay, I don't go through other videos' comments, reading comments to see what people are saying about me. I can say that. Can't speak for every. I mean, a lot of the time I feel like I'm talking about myself in critique of Eddie, but like, I think that's a bit of a step too far, and that's where you might want to take a step off the computer and just back away a little bit. Like, even like, you know, I'm a streamer and I care. It matters. My public perception matters, doesn't it? But like, to the point where you're going to go around reading other people's comments on other channels, it's the true crime krama fucking world. You're in the fucking krama bin. You're doing it to yourself. You're part of it. Like, there you are doing it. Reading the comments, maybe replying to them with a fake account. I don't know. Just like being part of it. Just ignore it.
Anyway, there were 29 comments.
But
on this video
actually don't. I much prefer this Eddie. I much prefer him making these videos. I thought we were going to do, like, you know, when he was saying about his, in our chat the other day and was saying, you know, he had different opinions, different ideas. I thought, yeah, fair enough, make a video about them, do it. I thought he was going to, like, you know, share some facts that might, instead we've got this. So
29 comments. One of the comments was from
I think when he said Jack, I think he was referring to Trisha's partner. I don't know, again, if Trisha's partner was called Jack, and I don't think Eddie does either. I just think he was referring to, you know, like so-and-so, like, and Jack is just a sort of coverall term, like John Smith or something. Right, John, like, you know, right, Jack. Right.
Vicky Marie herself, and she was thanking everyone for their support and
Ex-partner.
helping the channel grow. And in that same sentence, she said, if you want to buy a cup with my face on it, or you want to buy some merchandise, or you want to buy me a coffee, or you want to directly put your money into my PayPal account, and that was all,
yeah, that goes a bit far to me. You know, I do think it is a bit, you know, gets a little bit like shaking the begging cup. Does get a bit, and having direct PayPal link is a step quite direct. And this is where, again, thank God I've spent years looking at other internet grifters to know where the sort of community standards, the unspoken community rules, you know, what we call society, where that happens to sit and lie. Yeah. So I don't want to go overboard on that, but certain people might go a little bit further, and Eddie's got a reasonable point there, but I don't know how it fits in with this 40-minute rant and why it's being made.
there. So she sent herself a message so that when people go to leave a comment, they see a comment left by her in her own channel, as well as having the children in need type, what do they call it? You know, comedy relief type bar at the bottom there, with, you know, just give me your money. Anyway, there were 29, so that's 28 messages left in this. Check it out yourself. Just the other day, it was absolutely hilarious. Because Laurie Green's really upset that I biffed her off my channel, and she goes around telling other channels how bad I am for getting rid of her. And I'm a gatekeeper. I mean, she just tries to talk like Christopher from Nottingham. I mean, just weird. But anyway, Lorraine is from Glasgow. So hello to everyone that's watching this from Glasgow. It's a lovely place. In fact,
right. So this is a lesson in what you can and can't control. Yeah, so you can control, if you've got a channel and people make comments on it, I can control that. So if there's a load of people saying some weird shit, I can just delete them off it. But other people have got channels, and the world is the world, and I can't control it. So I'm not going to, and I can't. The only way I can control what these people are typing and saying is my own behaviour on the channel, you know, my own actual content, the actual content of my character and who I really am. And I could just leave it at that, can't I? If I want to talk about things on YouTube, I can talk about them on YouTube. That's my voice. But other than that, I'm not going to go through all these comments and do all that, and nor should you, Eddie. You can't control it. It's beyond your control in this aspect, and it's making you look a bit, I don't want to use the word obsessed, but, you know, it's making you look a bit like you've taken all this a bit too far, maybe. But then it's about you, I suppose, isn't it? So you might be interested. But then there is stuff out there on the internet that's about everyone, isn't there? I don't know. Yeah, again, I'm trying to put myself in his shoes and say, if people are making comments about me in Vicky Marie's chat, Like, I mean, what would happen with me is someone would say to me in Discord somewhere or a tweet, oh, someone's saying this about you in Vicky Marie's chat, have you heard this? And my first thought is, at that point, well, this is he said, she said bollocks, like, have you heard what so-and-so said to you? Let's go out behind the bike sheds and see if so-and-so said it to you to your face. No. And I think, I don't engage in any of that. So I don't care what they say in her chat. And then that's where I'd leave it. So that's that.
Edinburgh as well, Edinburgh and Glasgow. Oh, I've been to Scotland many times. It's a lovely place up there. But anyway, so there's 28 comments left, and I thought, well, let's read these 28 comments. How many of those 28 comments do you think were individually left by Laurie Green? How many? How many? Have a guess. 5? 10?
I don't
How many
care.
do you think? 16. 16
counted them.
obsessive comments left on Vicky Marie's comments page. Now, talking about the volume of comments, Christopher, the shrinking...
Vicky Marie Chats has a relatively small channel on YouTube and talks to an audience of people that she's cultivated over a period of time who enjoy her delivery and choice of content, yeah? So it doesn't matter if the people in Vicky Marie Chats fucking say that you are the devil and there's a million comments, because it's Vicky Marie Chats' comments on a video. It's not on the billboard in Times Square, and it's not going to damage your business, and it's not going to hurt you. And what this one, like, if there's 16 comments from one person on a video, most reasonable, normal people can look at it and say, well, that's a lot of comments from this one person. They're having a bit of a day. You know, and like, it's not going to be like, I tried to get myself a record deal, and when I was about to sign the contract, they were listening to the CD and everything was going great in Paramount Records. And as I was signing the record deal, someone burst through the door and said, wait, I've been reading Vicky Marie Chats' comments, and this one person's left like 16 comments, and they're not positive, and they pulled the contract away from me and said, wait, you thought you were the next Elvis. Sit down. Put the pen down. We're not signing this contract. You had us going. I hadn't seen Vicky Marie Chats until now. It was brought to my attention. You've ruined. It's ruined. It's over. I just think it doesn't matter.
Violet, who has nothing to say. He will never come up with any conclusion. He doesn't have anything to say. He just is one of these academic type people that just sits in his bedroom, probably naked, eating a packet of
Oh
Wotsits,
my God, now we're
wondering
doing this. Not everybody who types a lot of stuff on the internet is in their basement eating Cheetos, living fucking with their parents. Like, a lot of normal people in their 30s living with their parents through economic situations in the UK now anyway. It's just like fucking ridiculous to even go in this direction. Like, people have different opinions and type a lot of stuff. If you don't like it, you block them and you move on, and that's that. Like, not everybody that doesn't agree with you is like to some extreme, like some nut house slobbo. Like,
You know that because the cock's always got the orange sort of. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm being a bit vulgar now. I'm actually pulling his leg because he called me a few names, and I don't want to lower the tone here.
okay, so this is where we're pulling someone's leg and it's a joke, but I didn't tell it was a joke. I couldn't tell because it seemed just like a nasty attack. Like, jokes at other people's expense that are pulling their leg, like, that seem like nasty attacks. Frankly, we just deal with them as if they're nasty attacks. Like, we don't have to sort of have the nuance to understand it was a joke. That's not our fault. It's your fault in the way you deliver it and the fact you fucking said it.
Be children watching, right? So, I don't, and you should be over 18 anyway. So take that as tongue in cheek, okay? But
Oh,
anyway,
right, you should be over 18, shouldn't you? So it doesn't matter what I said on my video now, does it? Because you should be over 18 to watch this, shouldn't you, Eddie? Let's have that again.
being a bit vulgar now. I'm actually pulling his leg because he called me a few names, and I don't want to lower the tone here because there could be children watching, right? So I don't, and you should be over 18 anyway. So take that as
Yeah, you should be over 18, so there shouldn't be children watching. So
tongue in cheek, okay? But anyway, where was I? I keep losing myself because I want to try to get my point of view out about Christopher from Nottingham, who's got a blog out there on his shitstack. So, Substack. Did I say shitstack? I didn't even mean to say shitstack. It's his.
fucking hell, man. Now the jokes are coming thick and fast. I get it. You don't like Chris, yeah? You should have done these in individual videos. You should have done, and what you should have done, if you really, because this is the way to do it, Eddie. This is the way they do it. Is they do one video and they say Chris's shit stack as the title of the video, and then just do the Chris's shit stack video, and then immediately after that, within 2 minutes, upload the second video called Trisha's fucking tarot or whatever, and then immediately after that, upload the next video called like Super Chuffers a Wanker, and just like 3 or 4 or 5 like big rant videos, but each individual topic, one at a time like that. That's how you get most nutty points for looking like a nutter on the internet.
Substack. And a lot of people use that as a way of kind of, I don't know, I mean, I've just got this vision of him in his bedroom just tapping out any old shit. Any old shit will do, it doesn't matter, right? The whole
We
world...
wish you a Merry Christmas. It's not just any old shit. It's fucking, it's well thought out, even if the conclusions and the area of thought I find to be a little bit, you know, over the line of a bit nutty, you know, the psyops thing for me. You can't argue that he doesn't, like, he's formatting correctly. His punctuation and grammar's there, the paragraphs, and like it's you can read, you know, it's like, it's not just hammering away. It's not like a series of drunk texts. Like
is corrupt. All of the police force are corrupt. Every single police officer he's ever come across has always been corrupt.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
is bad-mouthing everybody. But here's the crazy thing, and this is...
Yeah, okay, so I agree. Like the culmination of the content is that he does think things that I think are a little bit too far. So that's, you can critique the ideas, you certainly can, but after 40 minutes of this, I think it's probably not what you want to do in this video. You probably want to do that in a separate video where people can listen to you critiquing the ideas instead of listening to you critique people for having a wig on, or for being female, or for being in a, you know, I don't even really want to, you know, say that, because I've already said things that are going to get us in trouble, haven't I? You know, being in a domestic situation, right, all that stuff. Like, feels like the comedy routine and all those things that we covered. It's not like when Jimmy Carr does a joke, like, Jimmy Carr did this joke, he says, they say there's safety in numbers, tell that to 6.5 million Jews. And that's a joke, isn't it? It's funny, but obviously the Jews got killed and the war is bad and, you know, ooh, it's sensitive, but it's a joke. Whereas here, it's not the same sort of, like, there's a funny, it's really weird with comedy, the way that you can do comedy about sensitive subjects and it can be clearly perceived as comedy. And maybe it's just whether it's funny or whether you're really angry when you do it. But this is stepping over a funny line.
What he will be noticing. He's shrinking. He's shrinking in his audience. I've noticed even the trolls, in his latest one he done, even the trolls from other channels that are his supporters are going in there saying things like, oh, you lost me this time, Chris, but you're a wonderful guy. I'm sure, you know, you're going to get justice for Nicola. He ain't going to get justice for no one.
Listen, what's going to happen is amongst the community of people that are doing this stuff, and I showed you some of the ones that are still posting about it on Twitter earlier, there's going to be, it's diffuse. There's going to be people that come, that go. There's going to be fair weather people and stalwarts. In about 2 years, there'll probably be some new wave of YouTubers who pick this up, like, weren't here the first time round and do their own videos on it. And it'll always be there and not there. And, you know, it's not one homogenous community glob, and there's no, like, you know, so Chris's relative popularity or the amount of people that agree or disagree with whatever he writes in his blog is similar to that, like I said, diffuse fair weather. Like, the Nicola Bulley case in itself is not as prominent in the media, so he's never going to get the same, like, volume of traffic as he would have done while it was big and prominent in the media. So, like, it's, like, not worth getting het up about, is it? Like, if he enjoys writing the blog and the people that care enjoy reading it, whether they agree or not with the opinions, like, he's still doing what he wants, and good luck to him. Like, I mean, I wish he'd try and look at some other angles other than the psyop angle, because being completely committed to one thing and not being broad with your open mind is one of the problems that ends up, like, when people say psyops work on people, that's why they work, because they're too narrow-minded. So be open-minded enough to consider that it might not be a psyop, maybe, Chris, if he ever watches this. But other than that,
Pre Nicola Bulley, before Nicola Bulley disappeared, before you ever heard of her name, before he was on some charade about government conspiracies and all the rest of it. Go back and check all that out. You will see that all he's done is he's now hung on to a sad lady's coattails for the promoting his conspiracy theories. Is another.
well, what it is he's got this conspiracy mind, this outlook, and when something like Nicola happens, he sees it in this different way and he's talking about it, and so he's still talking about it because he's still interested in it. And you don't have, again, like, Eddie's, like, seeing what he did to me, hearing him do it to me and saying things that were slightly wrong, and I was like, oh no, not quite right, that's not quite right, I didn't say that, I don't know about this. We still haven't got the link of me saying he drove trucks, and I will deny that I said he drove trucks. Like, maybe I said it in some weird way, like flippantly, or as like an ironic way, like, maybe you drove trucks, I don't know, or something like that. But I don't remember saying, because I didn't ever find out that Eddie drove trucks as a fact. Like, you know, that's not something that I've put in my videos or anything. But yeah, it feels like to see him doing it to somebody else, like to see him do it to Trisha and to see him do it to Vicky Marie, and now to Chris's Substack, who Chris doesn't even have a YouTube presence. So, like, it feels a bit like it's a bit harsh to watch him doing it to people. Yeah, like, and I imagine that Chris is being misrepresented here slightly.
David Icke. He's a David Icke. I mean, he called.
I think I said maybe, yeah. I would have said, someone would have asked me what's the connection between Eddie and Ernie, and I would have said something like, I don't know, Eddie could have like driven a trucks with him, or he could have done this, or he could have done that. Like Eddie could have been working at the lab, he could have been working at the pub that fucking does the cheese buns that all the truckers go in. I don't know, but it seems like he's in that area, in that age, and he's got the like contact with Ernie that he does and doesn't want to reveal when it's good or not good for him. So that's why I would have said that, is that I think he had some connection. Like, and Ernie's doing a business doing trucks, so I don't know. Like, but I don't think, I actually said that Eddie was driving trucks as like a confirmed. I haven't put that in any videos or anything.
Call me a creep. I don't think you're a creep, Chris. I really don't. Christopher, I know that your mother, she gets annoyed, doesn't she, when people call you Chris. But I know that, what I do know is that you're so wacko. It's almost like there's something, there's a lot of them. Flat earthers are another one. You go into those categories. You don't make any sense. You think that you're intelligent and you type all this stuff.
Okay, so this is not like flat earthers, because like Chris does make sense. It's just that he takes it to an extreme for his conclusions, but the other stuff along the way, some of it makes sense.
And you use loads of long words. I mean, you'll use words like fundamental and hypothetical. Sometimes you'll even use that really
They're not long words.
long word, Thomas the Tank Engine. But you talk bollocks, mate. I mean, and I mean that. And I'm actually talking directly to you now, Chris, because I know that you're going to also want to keep this for the future. You talk absolute bollocks. Everything you say, nothing makes any sense. And like all your followers, I just can't be bothered anymore, because, when you get people that go in there, like Oliver or EBO, and they make a, I think an intelligent observation about your personality, you just ridicule them. And because they've not got a channel of their own, you just give them a quick quick slap across the face and away they go.
Has Chris got his own channel? I'm not aware of. Like, are we talking about someone who writes a blog, or I didn't realise Chris might have a channel. Maybe he's got a channel I'm not aware of. But it seems like Eddie's pretty in deep with this sort of stuff as well, which is weird, because I've got time to read his blog, but I haven't got time to be in deep with his comments and his community and who's saying what about whom. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
I can't be bothered with you either. I'm now seeing that there's a WordPress gone out, which is picking up momentum as well. And what a fabulous read that was. It says everything about you and your character. It really does. I'm still waiting for you to say that aliens came down and took Nicola and done an experiment on her and then just dumped her in by the lay-by. That's the only one thing you've not said.
Okay, so this is going too far. This is making extremes to make Chris look bad, where it's not really. Like, Chris is not saying that. He's saying that government clandestine forces are doing these things to manipulate public opinion. And okay, it's a bit extreme for me that I think everyone's in on it, sort of thing. But it's not extreme to think that like the tone of what he's saying cannot. Like, I'm still saying there is some sort of conspiracy behind the scenes. It's not like the same conspiracy as. What I mean by conspiracy is like when you're a criminal group and you don't tell the truth to what's happening, and you pretend like something else is happening. That's conspiracy, isn't it? So it might look like everyone's acting. And I've said it earlier anyway, but
you're not worth a mention. You're another one that will only get 50 comments after any video, or not video, but any audio that you upload, or typing out, and I don't think you type it out. I think you just speak it and it types it. I mean, software. I noticed that because of some of the way the layout and also your patronising little laugh that you're doing. You look like a little child, and you always and when you talk about something really serious, like Nicola Bulley, the deaf Nicola Bulley, so like, and then Nicola Bulley was found dead in the river. You
not very nice to pop at the way people talk, but
you then put a laugh in there. What's funny about that? And then, of course, Nicola Bulley would be found in the river dead.
The reason he puts a laugh on it is because he doesn't believe it. He thinks it's a psyop and that it's been then she'd be found. He's laughing at the whole setup being ridiculous because he doesn't believe. You can understand his way of thinking, therefore you can understand why he's laughing. He's not laughing because he's a sick bastard who thinks it's funny that she's dead.
Are you like a clown or something? There is no. Sorry, I promised I wasn't going to call you a name. You called me a creep. When I say a clown, I mean as in, do you think you're funny? You are losing. You're losing support. You're losing support. You have nothing left. You have nothing left to offer. And you're going to now use my words now, and like Scott will maybe, and you're going to say, this is why this man is a gatekeeper. He's trying to draw you away. He's and then you would name the dog walker of the person.
I haven't said that because we haven't got into the details of the Nicola Bulley bit. I mean, I kind of skipped through the timeline bit there when you were talking about it earlier, but here I just think, earlier I thought, yeah, like I said all that bit earlier about smokescreen and whatever, but now I just think you're well eggy. So Christmas message from Eddie is, I'm well eggy.
I want questioned again because of their timeline that has changed so far off from what the original police statement was. I have every right to be concerned when someone blatantly changes their story. If someone changes their story, there's normally a very good reason for it, and I'm allowed to put that out there. If someone is pushed over and you're ready for it, you will support yourself from that. And I absolutely agree with Scott when he says that I can't believe this dog walker would have been able to push her over. If you've got your back to the dog walker and you're bending forward down a bank near the river's edge and you're picking up Willow's harness and they give you a shove from behind, I think you will go flying, Scott. I think the dog walker would push you over if you was unexpectedly. You didn't know it was going to happen. So I will be expanding on much of what I've said today. I hope I've answered a lot of your questions. I want to do a big shout out to True Finders. I want to do a massive shout out to Rustic Rage. Thank you very much for your very kind words the other day. I know that I promised you, Rage, that I would try not to make a video like this.
We'd have to go down the bank and we'd have to see who can push who in. I'd laugh then. But I've seen the pictures of it. Even bending forward to get that. Like, I think they'd push you. You might fall over and roll, but then you've still got like 2, 3, 5, 10 meters. Like, I know 10's extreme, but you still got a bit of a way to go to actually make it to the river.
The truth of the matter is that at a time like this, I think we should reflect on what we've all done in the last 11 months since Nicola went missing in January. I think we all should. We should. Even I do that. Even I say to myself, was that fair? Was some of these work in progresses fair? And that's maybe where I'm going with this with you, Scott. Think about whether, even if you're right, okay, so let's say you're correct, is it right for you to do it 2 weeks before Christmas? And damn it.
Yes, it doesn't matter about Christmas or 2 weeks before anything. It matters about when I found out the truth and put it together, whether I brought it to the public's attention, just without, like, not doing a Peter Folding and hiding it and saying that maybe, you know, for the purposes of being polite or because I don't want to show the people the picture because of Nicola's daughters. Not that. No, I'd feel differently. I feel like, yes. Doesn't matter. I didn't think, Christmas wasn't on my mind at that point.
A family's Christmas that's already wrecked. It's going to obliterate.
And I don't think it's wrecking their Christmas because I don't think they necessarily would watch my content.
The girls are going to have a Christmas without their mother, their very first ever Christmas. This time last year, they were helping their mother put the decorations on the Christmas tree. There was a buzz in the air, an excitement, a happiness. 1 year later. See, if you would have told that family a year later, next Christmas your mum's going to be gone forever. Not just for a couple of Christmases, forever. Think about death for a minute, Scott. It's final, it's done and dusted. And for you to say you want justice for Nicola, think about if Nicola could actually talk to you from up above.
That's what I'd been thinking about before I did the video. Like, all that. Like, he has no idea the emotional content I put in during the edit. Like, not the stuff you see on the video, but my emotions while I'm working on it. You know, he has no idea.
She would be saying, this is not getting justice for me, you slamming my family in the way that you've done.
Would she? Would she say that?
She'd be saying to you, I love my father. He is a good man. He...
Would she be saying that?
...was not responsible for my death. And that's what she'd be telling you, Scott.
I mean, you're speaking for the dead Nicola Bulley now. It's a bit more direct than tarot reading, isn't it? Don't you think? I mean, I'm not going to ask Trisha if she can talk to the dead. I mean, Trisha doesn't do that sort of thing. I'm being facetious, but you know what I mean. I'm not going to try and see if I can speak. But you, the words of the recently deceased Nicola Bulley are coming out through your mouth. Divine intervention somehow. They've come down.
And this is not getting justice for me, you slamming my family in the way that you've done. She'd be saying to you, I love my father. He is a good man. He was not responsible for my death. And that's what she'd be telling you, Scott. I put up a video with Brandy Carlisle singing The Heartaches Can Wait because it can. I fight on for the justice for Nicola, and I will keep exposing more and more discrepancies on that dog walker that unfortunately, for some reason, has distanced themselves from that bench at the time they said they were there. That confuses me. It will confuse a lot. True Finders have that audio, and I believe over the coming weeks and into the new year, Joe, Michelle, and Jen, fantastic team. I mean, they're now being ridiculed because, again, they're beginning to get an audience. It seems to me that when channels notice other channels growing, it offends them, and they don't like it. Now, look, I've been talking for 55 minutes.
I think that's kind of silly as well. Channels noticing other channels growing, it offends them. I mean, you can talk for everyone else, but like for me, you can't. So I can say myself that is silly because there's a million channels on YouTube. Lots of them are going to grow and be successful in lots of myriad different ways. It's not even, if someone's doing similar stuff to you, it's not even competition unless they're directly ripping you off and plagiarizing you. It's not even competition. It actually helps. So like, I don't feel that at all. I don't feel angry at that in any way. Watching someone fake it, get fake views, pay for views. There's a couple of people who, you know, there's that angry man who pays for views on TikTok these days. And there's, you know, what happened with the Peter Folding interview where like Luke himself admitted he was getting loads of views from the Philippines. You know, stuff like that makes you go, oh, because they're cheating the system. But like you yourself and your own journey, that's not affected by other people in that way. So you don't have to worry. And I don't.
of your time. 55 minutes. I want to thank everybody that has found me again, that has watched a lot of my music videos. Scott says, Eddie, you want to, you like words in songs? I tell you what you'd have been better off reading out, was the Lord's Prayer.
No, because Psalm 23 was 23 on the bench, and it's read out in the fucking edit by that priest at the end. I assume he's a vicar or something. He's literally reading it out. Like he reads out his sermon and they sing "The Lord is your shepherd." So I used the backing of them singing it from the actual edit, from the animal rights protests. They sang it, and it has all these sort of allegories to the way people treat people, like the Lord is your shepherd, you shall not want. He makes you lie down in green pastures, and the still waters, and Nicky in the river, and the way that people treat animals like they're there to be eaten. Therefore, we are the shepherd and you are the animals, and I will make you lie down, and the rod and the staff will make you comfort you, and you'll go to be dead, and I'm happy with that because I'm going to eat you. And it's the way the elites think about the proles. Is like they're the shepherds and we're the sheep to be led. And the number 23, Psalm 23, comes into that, and it's like almost like I see it as almost like a sort of like the manifesto of the elites is that, look, it says it in the Bible, the Lord is the shepherd and like the sheep, and we're the lords, literally like lords, and they're the sheep, and it's okay that we use our rod to kill them, and so it's got all these illusions. The Lord's Prayer wouldn't have worked. And also I did all the chapters for the video. All the chapters were titled, and they were all titled lines out of the Psalm 23, so it all tied together at the end. So that was quite anyway.
Parts in there, Scott, that I could read out to combat everything that you've said about me and Ernie Bulley. Do you need me to read the Lord's Prayer out to you?
No. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Give us this day our daily bread. Wait. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And forgive us for our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. And then they used to do in our school, and may the Lord bless us and keep us, make his face to shine upon us, and be gracious unto us forever and ever. Amen. And now I say, subhanahu wa ta'ala, mashallah, alhamdulillah, and stuff like that. It just, I'm all good. I'm good.
I don't think you do.
No, I'm tired and I'm stoned out.
Anyway, I forgive you, because I think that in your moment of madness, you thought you'd found something.
I don't think it's madness. I think I thought about it a lot. I looked at those pictures, showed them to a couple of people, asked them what they thought, got people's instinctive opinions, without prompting, and then went ahead with it.
How it goes there, I don't know. But I certainly, other than the fact that I was quite flattered that Brian Harvey used my video and it gave me a lot of his subscribers. In a way, it was good that I deleted that channel, even if it was accidental, because I got rid of subscribers that don't want to subscribe to my channel. I'd rather a small music channel where people just love music and they just like who I am and they like my granddad, who's having to lay down at the moment. And he's told me, Eddie, do not do a video, do not hold it. But I wanted to say Happy Christmas to you all, and I wanted to wish you all a very Happy New Year. And if you haven't played Brandy Carlisle and The Heartaches Can Wait, and You Are My All in All from the Gaither vocal band, which I put up the other day, open up the description, because a lot of what I've just talked about is in the description below. And if, Scott, you are going to use this, know one thing. I don't hate anybody. I don't hate you for the video you put out. The video was heartfelt, a lot of it. Made me think about, animal cruelty. I've always said, wouldn't it be good for people that have, convicted murderers, people that have killed children? Why don't we experiment on them? Why don't we go into jails of people that we know have actually beheaded children, and killed them? Why don't we use them as the guinea pigs?
I completely agree with that sentiment. Unfortunately, we don't have enough people for the thousands and thousands and thousands of animal lives that we go through every year. But
leave the animals alone. Why don't we say to those people, we're going to, it's not, you might grow an extra thumb, or, you might go blind, but, we're going to, this is for good, right? I mean, you've done bad. You've killed, a family's, 3 children. You killed them. Yeah, you're right. So you killed the children. So you can do something good before you, go through the gates, right?
Very Christmassy, this is.
We're going to inject you because it could save people's lives, because it's to help people with cancer. So this, okay, I don't want to do it. Why not? You're in jail. You're never coming out. You've killed children. You've killed people. You've gone around stabbing people, killing them, murdering them. Why don't we just use you? Why do we have to use animals? I agree with you. I mean, I'm not saying you agree with me about using these, people in jails to,
No, I agree with the sentiment. Obviously, there's lots of problems implicit. What if you're wrongly convicted and then you're forced to have experiments conducted on you. There is a human rights angle that, you know, but I do agree with the sentiment. Once someone's convicted of a horrific crime, how come they're not top of the list and a poor innocent animal is? I totally agree with that.
Scratch my nose.
Big ups, Teresa. Am I missing the football?
I don't know why. I keep saying don't scratch your nose. Don't do it, because Scott goes, oh, he scratched his nose.
No, it's like when Alan does it, he's constant. I'm not Mr. You scratch your nose again. Like, I don't mind. Listen, I don't mind if Eddie's got legitimate points, but I think it's a little bit unfair to be like, again, like, do you know what's okay? So you know what's interesting about it is in the first instance where he said, "Oh, you've done it now, Luke." Scott, you got yourself banned from Luke's chat. I told him the problem with that was he said something that made me look bad, because whilst he was having a little joke, no one knew what I'd done to get banned from Luke's chat, and you saying I'd done it now and all that made it look like I'd done something bad, when in actual fact it was the opposite, wasn't it? I was the good one and they got their fucking trolls on and they got it wrong. So he made me look like, here again, it's like, it makes me look bad to suggest that I'm always saying when you're touching your nose, touching the nose. Like, I'm not always talking about people touching their noses, but we're setting up another straw man now, essentially, aren't we? So I'm not going to argue with that any further than that. Like, we know that I don't talk about people touching their noses a lot. Not a lot. I mean, Alan does it a bit, but...
Scott's got his way. He's got his channel. I've got my way. I've got my channel. I work alone. I'm not a gatekeeper. I'm not part
I've got my channels
of the establishment. No one's paying me. Everyone's an actor. You couldn't write this shit, right? You couldn't write it. I think the only reason Christopher from Nottingham gets away with all this shit is...
The thing is, for Christopher, he thinks everyone's an actor because they all look so fucking fake. Yeah? And he's not wrong. They all look so fucking fake.
Because he's so tiny. No one is paying any attention to what he's saying. But I'll tell you what, can you imagine if he had like 2 million followers? Can you imagine that?
You are? You're paying a lot of attention to what he's saying. You're well eggy about it.
I mean, the guy's a nut. I mean, in the nicest possible way. And happy Christmas to you, Christopher, and to your family, and a happy New Year.
Silvermoon Warrior, a straw man is where someone creates an argument that doesn't exist so they can easily beat you up with it. For example, Scott's always saying people touching their noses, and that's stupid because, like, you know, body language, oh, you're touching your nose. Like, but I'm not always doing that, am I? So now he's beat me on the argument as to whether touching your nose as a body language signal is just silly and base, and if you're always saying it, you're silly. I mean, a better way of doing it, like, I'd like to think of a different straw man that I could like fight Eddie on. I could say that Eddie's been saying my music taste is bad. Eddie's been saying, like, he's been saying about how bad my music taste is, and right, I'm going to prove how good my music taste is by playing him all these wonderful songs. And Eddie agrees with me, these songs are great, so he was wrong to say my music taste is bad. But he never said my music taste was bad. It's a straw man. It's like an argument that's not really, but with real straw manning, it sits very nicely against what you're saying, and it sounds like you could have said this, but you weren't. You're not defending this point, but they've made you sort of defend it and stand you up against it because they're saying it's what you said. It's like a deliberate misinterpretation, creating an argument that doesn't exist that they beat you up for. Big ups, written Angela. I want to offer you promotion of your channel. Thanks. Just be deleted. Yeah, you banned before I read it fully. Good, thanks.
To you. I hope that in the new year you really do find out who these gatekeepers are. But let me tell you something.
But like, there might be gatekeepers in this situation that Chris is worried about, because there might be people acting badly and like not acting, but like acting bad. Like there might be people doing bad things that are not telling the truth, and it makes him think that everything's a psyop and all that. But yeah, I've gone over that.
The other day to someone I was on the phone to. In a funny kind of way, and even you must admit this, it does appear that you are trying to be the gatekeeper. You are narcissistic. You are cruel. You are cold. You have nothing intelligent to say. In your intelligence, you have nothing intelligent to say. Now look, I've been going on for an hour. I think that's long enough. Happy Christmas to you all. I mean no malice to anybody. Even Trisha Gelder. If you want to believe in tarot card reading, go to her channel. Stop giving her money. If you want to believe that Vicky Marie is...
If you want to believe in tarot card reading, go to her channel, stop giving her money. So I don't wish you any animosity. Just let's bookend it with, I'm not doing anything bad and saying anything bad. I don't wish you any harm, but fucking this and that, and this and fucking that, and they're fucking giving them money and fucking this and that. And then, but I don't wish them any harm. Why don't you go and watch them? You fucking idiots. If you're a fucking idiot, you fucking idiots.
A lovely person, and you want to buy a book. I mean, she's done a book, for crying out loud. That I understand, but a mug with a face on it, I can't think.
You can drink out of a mug. You can read the book as well, right? If you're down with that sort of stuff. But you can drink out of the mug. It exists. It's a thing. Bit of fun. It's Christmas. Fucking hell, Eddie.
Of a worse thing to do than put your face on a mug and say, why don't you buy one of my mugs for £5? And every time you have a cup of tea, you will think of Vicky Marie Chats.
Listen, it might not be the greatest marketing ploy in the world to put your own face on a mug and be like, buy my face of mug face. If you're not like for me, it would have to be like a Genshin Impact person or who would I like a real life person who I'd like to see on my mug. I don't know. Muhammad Ali, I'd look at that and be like, yeah. So but you know, to a certain degree, quite a lot of people sell mugs with their faces on, like of varying degrees. I don't know. Like maybe she could have done a different mug. Are we really now angry about the mugs? Are we really angry about the mugs? Bigs up Eddie Cat. Eddie surprised me. I mean, I was shocked earlier. At this point, I'm not surprised he's gone for the mugs now, in a way. But I feel quite defensive because I love this mug and the community effort that went into creating it. So I'm really grateful and charmed by it. And like, although it's not here and I don't pretend to drink out of it, it's here, but there's no anything in it. Like, I don't pretend to drink out of it. For what it is, Eddie's just shit on everything.
Vicky.
And I spoiled Christmas.
What are you like? Seriously? You know? And as for you saying that no channel is... You can't talk about any channels on here, and I won't talk about any channels on here.
Well, she doesn't.
I won't talk about any channels on here. Sorry about that. I don't know why I've done that. But look, I'm not a narcissist. See, a narcissist says they're not a narcissist. I don't even really know what a narcissist is. I thought a narcissist was someone like Scott. I thought he was kind of had narcissistic traits.
Wait, if you don't know what a narcissist is, how do you know you're not one? And you think I'm one, but you don't know what one is? And I will agree, we all have narcissistic traits. You can't go on the internet, listen, honestly, you can't go on the internet and sit down in front of the camera and say, right, I'm going to talk about basically my opinion for hours on end. I'm going to expect people to watch it and also contribute without having some sort of ego basis in there, can you? I'm not ashamed to say, I hope that I've got some value to offer. Yeah, I used to be ashamed to say it, actually. I went through a period in my life where I was struggling with things and I felt that I didn't have value to offer. But not having shame in that is fine. Not being ashamed of yourself, and that goes for everyone else who's thinking of streaming or trying it out or making videos or anything. Not forget what Eddie's saying. Have not pride, but you don't have to be ashamed. And now I'm the narcissist. I will agree that everyone has narcissistic tendencies, but if you want to go through the narcissist, today's not the day for me to go through the narc quiz, but I will do it, and I will exemplify how I'm not if you really, really need me to. But I think you can do it yourself. And I think, do you know what? Questioning whether you are one is also a big... if you've ever sat down and thought, I wonder if I'm being narcissistic here, then ding, 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 lights on, you're not, because narcs don't do that. So, I can categorically state that from my own introspection and development in my life, I don't think I am a narcissist. But then, it's not for me to state, is it? No, that's what a narcissist would state. I mean, what is going on?
I meant that when I first met him, I thought here's a guy that's quite interesting because narcissists are not necessarily horrible people. They've got like this weird way about them, and they can't help but attack. They attack back. And then when he apologised, Eddie is a narcissist because a narcissist will always...
I think here I've just been defending myself rather than attacking back, but...
Make it about him. If I wouldn't have apologised, C is a narcissist. He couldn't even have the decency to apologise to Vicky Marie Chats and her wonderful channel that's growing from strength to strength. I heard you bought a new car.
Is this the apology?
Last week, Vicky. How's that driving? Is that driving all right?
What? Hang on.
Even have the decency to apologise to Vicky Marie Chats and her wonderful channel that's growing from strength to strength. I heard you bought a new car the other day, last week, Vicky. How's that driving? Is that driving all right?
Should she not buy a nice car? Should she not have a car? Vicky's got to go on the bus. Otherwise, what? When people choose to donate, if they enjoy her content, and she takes the money and she spends it on whatever she wants, I like to think, like I've said, the value proposition is that I'm going to, what I offer is that I want to improve the content. Vicky might not even, Vicky's quite, if she wants to, she can say, I'd like a new car. And then she can just save up the money and buy a car. And that's welcome to the world. I feel like if he's at the I feel like if we go to dinner, Eddie's going to be paying the bill and he's going to be like, what are you taking that money for? What kind of car does the chef drive? He drives a nicer car than us, Eddie. Are we going to be angry about that? Are we going to eat our dinner? I mean, honestly, like,
Hey, good? That's good. Happy Christmas. If you've got any spare money, don't give it to me. Don't give it to anyone. If you really want to give some money and for a good cause, go to your local hospice. Go in there, meet some of the people that are now at the end of their life.
go in, knock on the door. Hello, I haven't done a, you know, I'm not here to visit anyone specific. Just here to sort of have a look around. Wanted to sort of have a goose around. Is that all right? Go in, knock on the door. I'm here to give you £10. I thought I'd have a goose around first.
The staff about how difficult they find it, how their funding has been cut, how some of them are even closing, and give it to your local hospice, or give it to a children's organisation like a cancer research fund, something like that. Do something good. I'm going to end by saying one last thing about channels.
Maybe Rain Gods. I don't think this is specifically a distraction. I think this is maybe more like an honest reaction, and that's good. I'm actually happy with him doing that, and I think he should do more of them. Like the crime world, like the true crime world, and like I perceive myself as not being involved in true crime crime, but being floating above it and commenting on it. And sometimes, like with Luke and with Eddie, they try and draw me in and say my name and stuff. But on the Super Chuffer channel, if you go there and you watch the Nicola Bulley video and stuff, you're not going to hear anything about any of this stuff. In the live, sometimes I've shouted out Eddie and, you know, shouted out other, you know, shouts out other channels, but in the main, you're not going to hear about any of this stuff, are you? So I'm sort of immune to it over there to a certain extent. There are people that know about what happened on Battery Exhausted and got eggy or whatever, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm sort of immune to it. I've got different channels with different content offerings, and it's content on the internet. So I quite like Eddie's done this. It's provided me now with something to upload for Christmas for Battery Exhausted. And like, if you're watching this and it's Christmas and it's Battery Exhausted, you know, much love. Thank you very much for everything this year. It's been a wonderful year. We've gone on an amazing and interesting journey. I don't know how this has happened. Yeah.
And I forgot about this, and I want to end by saying this. If you love a channel so much, you can experiment, right? Because I believe addiction is a dangerous game we play. Why don't you not watch? I'm just talking about Vicky Marie, just because it's Vicky Marie. You know, I could have said any channel, right? But let's say Vicky Marie. Right?
So now you want people to not watch her channel. You're doing a big shout out to Vicky Marie and telling people directly, no, don't give her money and don't watch her channel. See how she likes that.
Do two things for me. One, no longer give her money. And number two, stop watching her for, say, a week. Just don't watch her for 1 week. 1 week of your life. Just don't watch other channels, but just leave her alone. At the end of that week, leave a comment below after 1 week of not watching her, and honestly tell me how much you missed the content that she's given you.
Well, I'll tell you what, I haven't uploaded anything on Battery Exhausted for maybe 2 weeks, and I haven't uploaded anything on Super Chuffer for a week. It's Christmas. Like, maybe they can all tell me how much they miss me.
About reading the news and calling Peter Fording names and showing hatred to other channels without mentioning them, and showing discontent to you, her followers, by even timing you out if you dare mention another channel. Now, I'm not showing any hate or any hatred to Vicky Marie or her channel. I'm merely pointing out that there's a lot of
Big ups. The user asked me to. All right, sorry. Okay, sorry. No problem.
lonely people out there in the world, and we latch on to people. We latch onto a channel, like you might even be latched onto mine. But one thing you can be guaranteed with me is that I will give you music, and I will give you chit-chat. And I will try and work out a conclusion to what happens next.
Don't do the music and chit chat. Do that on its own channel, right? And just fucking abandon that for the people. Like, most people who are watching Eddie don't give a fuck about that. So put that on its own channel and do this as a separate channel. Call it Eddie's True Crime Drama Rants, and like, just do this. Like, I quite like it.
Because I care. I really care. And if my passion sometimes spilled over and it makes me seem like I'm an angry...
Interesting aspect, Rain Gods. What is Vicky Marie saying that he wants people to not hear? Good point. Like, obviously she's anti-folding as well, isn't she? Like, he's got a right egg on about that. Like, yeah, you could read into the subtext here and say, why is she dangerous? Because he really has got a fucking chip on his shoulder about her. But then I think the part of it is that she called him out, essentially. Like, same with Trisha, is they've both called him out. And that has... and, like, I've talked to him directly in the chat and called him out on my video, so to speak, as well. So we're all in the same boat there. We've all been... Yeah.
man. I mean, you know, I've had people send me comments like, blah, blah said you was a wife beater and you slap women around. I mean, I just laugh it off, you know. I mean, I'm a loving person. Anyone that's ever been in my world has always been cared for. I mean...
Where did that come from as well? If you didn't laugh it off, you just brought it up. It's fucking
I don't
weird.
take anything. I'm embarrassed to take. I've had people send me emails saying, Eddie, can you give me some? I love your channel so much.
And to be honest, I had one time, right? You shouldn't feed the trolls here, so I shouldn't talk about it. But this was way back in the true binaural days. Like, I angered some of the ASMR community, you know, cliques and that. Sometimes, like, got my own little trolls. One person said some fucking horrible things. They said that I'd just come out of prison for doing time for doing violence like this. I have no criminal record. I have not just come out of prison for doing that. Like, there was no, like, in fact, all of my work journey was documented on my blog as a hairdresser as well. So it was weird that they made up this weird lie, right? And I didn't fuck about. I didn't, like Eddie's saying about, you know, let it go. I didn't just let it go either. I was like, right, I'm going to find out where you live because I'm going to get a solicitor to get your IP address. This was back before, like, you know, whatever new laws and all that, like, you know. But I basically did, you know. I was like, you know, I'm not having this. I'm not just deleting the comment. I'm telling you, like, I'm coming for you legally. You cease and desist now, or you expect every full and following step because this is over the line. It's not just trolling. It's not saying you're bad and you're smelly. Like, it's saying fucking horrible weird shit that, like, is based in horrible lies and nastiness. So yeah, I got a system for that.
I'd like to give you a tip. I'd like to buy your coffee. How comes I can't give you a tippity? And, you know, and I just say, I send him straight away.
He's not saying you called him a wife beater, Trish. You're saying some people in comments called him that. Like, which, again, like I said, if it's comments on your own channel, you go at that hard and say, I'm not having this. You're getting deleted, but also I want you to know that if you keep doing it, I will be following it up with legal action. And then the other way around is, like, you don't talk about it. But with Eddie, he's like, he's deep in, again, they call it lost in the source. Lost in the source. Like, he's gone too deep here. He's like, you know, reading comments on Chris's Substack and what Vicky Marie's comment, how many number of adding up the comments on Vicky Marie, like, yeah.
Mail back. I don't want your money. Give it to charity. Give it to someone that needs it.
He does seem to be on the side of truth finders, doesn't he? Interesting.
Even if I was down on my knees financially, I would not want your money. I'm embarrassed that you would even put it to me that I might want your money. I don't want your money. Keep your money. Keep your money. Every time you think about going, oh, I'm loving this content, I'm going to give him $10, 10 quid. Stop it. Just stop it. I'm going to say no more. Happy Christmas. I'm so pleased that I've got some wonderful followers, some wonderful friends. Push Rustic Rach over the 1,000 subscribers, everyone. If you're a subscriber of mine, I know that I've got, I don't know, about 2,500 of you. I think Rachel's so close. Can you do?
It's irrelevant whether she gets over that line authentically or because of, like, a sort of promotional push. People are going to watch the videos or not based on whether they want to watch the videos. So.
I love the Bulley family, and they can't, for me, they're not going to, you can't sway me that they've done anything wrong. I wish them a very, very happy Christmas. Happy Christmas to you, Louise, and Harriet and Sophia. Happy Christmas. I'm heartbroken for you, and I hope you can find the strength and
Is he talking directly to the children there? Does he think they're watching?
a healthy memory of your mum to have a really wonderful Christmas. And Dorothy, I know that you're heartbroken. I know that. I know it's tough. It's real tough. But have a great Christmas. And to all channels, including Vicky Marie, including Scotty Do, Scotty Don't, Luke, even Christopher from Nottingham. Happy Christmas to all of you, wherever you are, and to all of my loyal followers that love the music that I'm choosing. And yes, Scott, there's always a message in the words of a song. And I put up It's Your Life from Smokey the other day, just for you. So
I didn't see that, so I will. I'll have a listen, because I imagine it contains some sort of veiled threat now.
Anyway, thank you, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the clues in the video behind the Brandy Carlisle Hard Dates Can Wait as well. Hope you spotted all of the clues. There was about 5 or 6. Maybe see you in the new year. And until then, it's Eddie out. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks very much. Happy Christmas. Obviously, this is going to be cut for YouTube and go up on Battery Exhausted. So, like, happy Christmas to all you on Battery Exhausted. I'm sorry we didn't do the Christmas song competition due to complications, but we will be back after Christmas and in the new year with more internet nutters in general. But of course, I will shout out the fact that Super Chuffer is the main channel, and we got massively diverted, and thankfully Battery Exhausted was just the place to take that diversion this year. But hopefully next year we can use it just for fun and larks, and we can push on with some serious stuff on Super Chuffer, and onwards and upwards, so to say. So thank you very much to everyone who bought the mug this year. That's helped me buy Christmas presents, and we're going to do a charity stream in between Christmas and New Year. We might even do a New Year's thing, because I might be free on New Year. So Watch out for that. You be good. Have a lovely Christmas. And I'll see you on the other side. If you can't be good, you're naughty. And naughty people don't get Christmas presents. They go on the naughty list. So I'm assuming you are good. Santa does know. There you go. Thanks. Thanks very much for suggesting to watch it in chat as well, because that's absolutely fell into my lap. I was anxious about not having anything to upload to Battery Exhausted to explain that we weren't doing the thing, and felt bad that we weren't doing the thing. And now this is a video that we can upload, and it's right, exactly right for Battery Exhausted. And it's insane. And it's kind of Christmassy because he keeps mentioning Christmas. So that's going on there. Obviously, don't worry, you don't have to go right now. I just said that for the edit. But I do have to go now, really, because I've got to go and get the boxing on the computer and set it up in the other room. So actually, I do have to go. We'll be back. Obviously, tomorrow's Christmas Eve, and I've got family round. So I hope you have a lovely time, and I hope you have your own lovely Christmas. I'll try and chit chat here and there on some social media, maybe, but most likely Christmas Day, Boxing Day, maybe the day after, I'll be back on the internet, and we want to be playing Lord of the Rings, Hobbit games, and chilling and doing stuff in the lead up to the new year. So we'll be looking forward to that. But overall, just have a lovely time. You know how to do. If I need to jump on, if anything kicks off and I need to jump on, I can jump on maybe the occasional late night Twitch after everyone's gone to bed on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. That might happen, but more likely than not, I'll see you on the other side. Yeah. What a madness. Let's hope 2024 can be a little more calm and chill. And I haven't done the review of the year yet. We'll do that after Christmas, but things just come out of nowhere, don't they? So whilst we might feel that some of the routines are a little bit tired and whatever, sometimes we enjoy the regular seasonal repetitiveness of Christmas. Knowing that some things never change is actually a good thing. So happy Christmas. You be good, and if you can't be good, then you're naughty.